Hello everyone, Mummy is currently away from her studio, so let's enjoy some TikTok compilation nonsense.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!
Welcome back to another deep dive into the unhinged world of makeup TikTok fails. I thought, as I am working with brand new equipment in the studio, I would film one of these videos because they are a little bit easier for me to edit than a full-on 2-hour extravaganza about America's Next Top Scandal Girls. And you guys absolutely love these videos, so why not make more, you know? Give the people what they want. Big titty lady videos on the internet. Marketing 101. Match the person to the product and they will probably want it. So my lovelies, in the last couple of videos we've done on this topic, we've seen some absolutely unhinged situations. We've seen 1,000 layers of gloop upon the face. We've seen super glued open eyes. We've seen skincare hacks that no one with skin should ever do, ever really now. And I expect today will be no different whatsoever. Is that right, Mr. Biscuit? Look at your really fluffy feet. What are we going to do about all this fluff?
You need to arrest him immediately.
Why don't we strap in, strap on, and get ready for some madness, shall we, Biscuit? Do you want to go and sit on your little pillow whilst Mummy does all of this on the internet? If you don't know me, my name is Luxeria, and I have been a makeup artist for 16 years, and I also have a biochemistry degree because I love understanding exactly what's going on in our bodies and what we decide to put on them, girls. And through these videos, I love to share my little bit of knowledge of chemistry and formulation into understanding why perhaps makeup can be used or can't be used in certain circumstances. Now, while I might be a bit of a stranger to making short form content because my chosen form of communication on the internet is videos over an hour long, trying to understand why we're such a generation of millennials. But that's neither here nor there. If you want to follow me over on TikTok, it is xxluxeria. Tag me in any of the most unhinged beauty and makeup related hacks you've ever seen, girls, and I would love to watch them. With that being said, grab yourself a beverage. I am nearly out of this, so I'm probably gonna get some Pepsi Max. Actually, let's bring some inner peace and watch other people explode through theirs in anguish online, shall we? Gosh, she's actually a philosopher.
Deranged.
Oh, so the first one here looks like a bit of a bleach situation. I am no stranger to a bleaching situation.
My head hurts, and it looks pretty white, which is deceiving because it's got bleach on it. But it looks pretty light. It's been on for like 5 to 10 minutes, and my head is burning. So guess what? We're taking it out and hoping for the best.
I'm just, no, stop. I'm just gonna say, I am not the, most knowledgeable when it comes to understanding the reaction that bleach undergoes on the hair. I am not an expert. I can sort of hazard a guess that the exothermic alkaline reaction kind of opens the cuticle and then the bleach gets in and lightens the natural underlying pigments all the way throughout the color scheme of dark to bright orange to then yellow and then to white. And then of course you put toners in because that's color theory, because then you're putting purple onto yellow to make it kind of silvery white, and that's how you get this. I've been doing my hair for as long as I have been on this planet, my loves. Only a handful of times have I gone to a salon or to another person to have them do my hair. Every single time I've been disappointed, so I always go back to my own skills. But I am Weller trained, and I'm also Schwarzkopf trained in terms of their color lines. So what can we say about this lady with bleach on her hair? What can we say? The thing with using white bleach or blue bleach is it always gives the illusion that it is lighter than it is. I can actually see here that this is going to be quite yellow. Before she's even rinsed it off, I think it's going to be quite yellow, and she's definitely either going to need to do a round 2 or a pretty strong toner, depending on what color she wants to actually end up. Not everyone wants platinum blonde hair, I know, but do they really not want that? I mean,
don't be ridiculous, Andrea. Everybody wants this.
What is that? The Devil Wears Prada?
At least a level 9. Let's go.
Oh, that's not a level 9.
So yellow.
Oh, see. No. Actually,
Not sure about this.
that might be a yellow 9. A yellow 9. That might be a level 9. No. It's difficult to say. I feel like in the hairdressing world, we have the level 1 to 10, and it should actually be 1 to 20, because the difference between 7 and 10 is so dramatic. There's 30 different shades between that. There's not really a lot of difference between level 1 and level 3. They're all just really deep tones.
But it hasn't lifted enough. That still looks pretty orange.
What's it called? Blonde. Brassy blonde.
So I'm really worried that I'm gonna put the T18 on.
Not
and
Wella
the parts that are
T18.
like whiter.
Okay.
Like my roots.
That's exactly what's going to happen. I'm very sorry.
But
Wella
upon this-
T18 is a very interesting product. If you don't know, it looks like this. It's part of a permanent toner range that Wella does. It's got kind of a bit of a reputation. It's one of those ones of like, if you have really thick, strong hair, you can use it. If you have any other hair type, avoid. It kind of utilizes slightly older technology in terms of like, it provides a little bit of extra lift in a toner itself, which seems really bizarre because a toner should be tone on tone level. It should be the same level or deeper. Technically, Wella T18 is kind of like a permanent tone, but I guess it must have a little bit of high lift technology in it if it claims to be like, well, go white, girls. What I like to use as a toner for my hair is the Wella Illumina 9-60, I believe, with a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of silver mauve. And it gives me this gorgeous colour, which I top up every now and then with the Paul Mitchell blonde tone shampoo. It's got kind of like a slightly pink hue to it, and it's one of the best purple toning shampoos I've ever seen because it doesn't really leave my hair like purple. It kind of leaves it like dusky, a dusky platinum, and I love it. I love everything about it. Right, let's see. I've interrupted this woman so many times. We're only a minute into it.
And I'm sure as heck not leaving it like this.
Oh, it's not gonna tone.
So,
I'm sorry.
Crossing fingers.
No. Oh, the panic of a
Maybe I should
toner.
just go like lilac.
I've been doing my toning for so many years, and I still go.
Oh, is it going really dark? Oh no.
So I know that toner can be super deceiving
Yes.
on your head.
I mean that.
But I mean, it looks like it's doing really well.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
It's only been on for like 5 minutes.
I think some
I'm gonna
parts
leave
of it
for
will look really good.
A little bit longer, maybe
Like
5 more minutes.
that sort of platinum silver that she clearly wants.
Yeah, because that still looks pretty orange. I don't know. Leave it for another like 5 minutes.
Oh,
at
come on,
least.
girls.
I
Oh,
feel like Daenerys.
okay. Actually, not hateful.
I'm mad about it. Nobody else seems to like blonde on me. Everybody says that like darker or orange family colors would be better.
Any hairdressers in the audience think that this was going to be the outcome? Because I 100% did not. I mean, it is slightly uneven, but you know, sometimes when you've gone through the rounds of bleach and then you just want to put a toner on, sometimes you don't really mind a little bit of like multi-tonal effects. I know in my hair, I have some warmth down here from some old highlights. There is no way I am pouring any more bleach through the ends of my hair because I like the length, so I can cope with it being a bit warmer there. I do my roots every 5 to 6 weeks, and it does take me a full day. It takes about an hour and a half for me to put the bleach on my roots. It takes about 3 hours to process that. Then I do like a wonderful deep penetrating protein and Olaplex treatment, and then I'll do my toner. And then I will blow dry and style my hair. The whole thing takes about 8 hours. If you're gonna go bleach blonde, you gotta prepare, and I did not expect this. This is not a fail. And what an excellent time for today's Twitch shout out, my lovelies, which goes to the Pie Fairy, Mr. Biscuits, the Pie Fairy. Thank you so much for following me over on Twitch, you stunning woman on the go. And if you want to be in with a chance of being featured in my next video's Twitch shout out, make sure you follow me on Twitch. It is Luxeria Plays, and I stream every Monday and Thursday, my loves. And with that, back to the unhinged TikToks. Oh, right. Okay, what do we have here? Underpainting fail. Started off well. I realised I used too much light. Yes, that is quite a lot of light. Oh. Aggressively tried to blend it away. Oh, no! Oh, yeah, this is not... Oh, is her concealer dry? Oh, yeah, no. Nah.
Bro, what?
No. No, it's not working. No. No. Oh. That beauty blender did look a bit like it hadn't been dampened. Oh dear. No, at this point I think it's a restart situation. No. Yes! It does work when it's done differently. I don't think the powder is going to fix. Okay, so let's have a moment, shall we? Underpainting is a brilliant way of creating those natural contours or enhancing those natural contours underneath makeup in a really subtle yet effective way. One of the things is, it is a practice skill. No one is ever perfect when they start anything at the beginning, and I can completely understand. It seemed like as this makeup enthusiast was doing her makeup, she sort of realized some of the mistakes that she had made along the way. One, applying too much light. Too much light will always disrupt everything, because when you go to put your foundation over the top, you'll actually end up mixing it all in, and you'll end up with like an undertone that's not quite right for you. I also want to say it does depend on the type of products that you use as well. For this kind of effect, I will shout to the high heavens that my favorite foundation of all time is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, the Double Wear Liquid. It is so good. I wear it in every single video. It's the reason why my skin looks like this, although I am having a bit of a breakout at the moment. Thank you, hormones!
She's dead.
So, you want to start underpainting? You want to get underpainted, bitch? What you need to think of is where you want the lightness on your face. Working in triangles always works really, really, really well. No matter your face shape, really, when it comes to underpainting, you kind of want to pinpoint the areas where you're naturally going to have shade and light. If you find it difficult to discern where those areas are, look right down in your mirror and you'll see where your cheekbones hit the light, you'll see where your chin, where your nose, and where your forehead hits the light. Anywhere the light is not touching can be a contour. There you go. Easy, 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 easy. The way that I like to do it is put a very light layer of foundation over my skin. That way, you've already got something a bit wet, a bit tacky for everything else to stick to. This is kind of after you've done your skin prep, whatever that looks like for you. Then I go in with concealer underneath the eyes. I don't actually drag my concealer out really far. I just put a considerable amount right here and a little dot in the middle of my forehead, some across the chin and some across my upper lip, because I really like that curve that goes with lip filler. You'll find less product works better when it comes to underpainting, because as you go to move that product around and move it into your foundation that's already there, if you've actually got concealer at the edge of your eye, you're going to end up with so much lightness at the side of your head, which is where you don't want it. You want the contour to be that, so you get that 3D, gorgeous, perfect from every angle effect. Once you've blended in your contour and your highlight and any liquid blush, if you really want to, if you're really that sort.
Are you that sort?
I actually also like to go in at this point, just before I set my whole face with powder, with a little tiny bit of highlight just across here. I actually find putting powder over my powder highlighter actually dulls it down and makes it look more like a glow from within rather than like an artificial stripe. If you love the artificial stripe, go for it, my loves. Taking a small powder brush, powdering underneath the eyes first and anywhere that moves quite a lot, and then going all over with a powder poof, and you have underpainting done. What you then might need to do, if you really want to, is bring some warmth back to the skin by actually applying some bronzer or a little bit of blush or something, like just across the cheekbones, maybe at the edge of the forehead and maybe down by the jawline as well. And that is underpainting. That's it. It sounds complicated, but once you get the skill down, it will make everything move so much faster, and you'll actually find you end up using less product in total because you're making each product harmoniously do its job rather than layer, 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 layer. She's gotta beat it, girls.
Me loving the lipstick I stole from my sister.
This copyright music. Loving
Me
the
being
lipstick I
confused
stole,
because
girls.
it's getting really dry.
Right, it's getting dry. Oh. Oh no, butthole lip.
It literally starting to fall off.
Oh no, what is that? What? Oh. No. Oh, no. Usually what happens with these kind of liquid lipsticks, the ones that are like really drying and they're meant to last forever, girls, they kind of start to get the lovingly known effect as butthole lip, which is where things are so dry that when you start to move, they start to flake and they get all like liney and start to resemble an aging twink pussy.
Oh my God.
Let's not go there. If you find that you have a favorite, absolute favorite liquid lipstick that does this, the reality is with liquid lipstick formulas, they aren't hugely different from each other. They will have a different drying process, and usually that involves a different kind of alcohol on the lip. So for example, one of the higher end, long lasting, but slightly drying liquid lipstick brands that I can think of is the Beauty Bakery. I love their formula. It is so good, but I do feel like some of the colors, not all of the colors, because some of them start to get a little bit dry towards the 6-hour wear mark. And to be honest, with liquid lipsticks that are matte, you're probably going to end up with something like that anyway. However, I have found a little makeup hack. So when I am wearing a gloss in my videos, it is a lie. It is not actually a gloss. I do not like lip gloss because I find my hair is like, oh yes, oh, stick to my face, girls. And I hate it.
That was not erotic to everybody.
This is one of my most favorite liquid lipstick products ever. So on top of Beauty Bakery, I will actually take one of these. This is the Superstay 24-Hour Color by Maybelline, I believe. Is it Maybelline? Yes, Maybelline New York. This end here, which is, oh goodness me, I've picked the filthiest one possible off my makeup desk. Of course I have, because I use my products. This end here is a balm. It is a clear but shiny balm. Put that over the top of nearly every liquid lipstick and you will refresh it and it will look gorgeous. Ironically, they also do it as a standalone product themselves. This brand, however, is really good at creating a decent color and a gloss to put over the top, so it makes it look like you have superior long wear, slightly glossy, juicy lips that don't print off on everything around you, and your hair does not stick to it. As I say, I actually find that it works really well if I put it over the top of something like Beauty Bakery. My other favorite brands are the Sephora own brand. I'm actually wearing it today. This is shade 80, I believe. And I also love to wear it over the MAC Retro Matte liquid lipsticks because it just gives a great finish. And it also helps hydrate when your lips are just feeling a bit like dry, girls. And I'm not entirely sure what they've done with the formula of this specific balm, but it does not disturb the product underneath. I don't know how they've done it. It must be an oil-free formula because oil should dissolve liquid lipsticks, and a balm you'd think would have an oil component. But I don't know how they've done it. It's magic.
All right, then. Keep your secrets.
What's this? Every makeup girlie's worst nightmare, girls. What is it? What's the tea? Oh, liquid eyes. Liquid eyes.
How vile.
Running liquid eyes. Oh. Yes, unfortunately. I mentioned this in the last episode, and there's just nothing. When your eye is like, do you know what? Today is the day. I'm looking out the window all day, waiting for my husband to return from the war. Like, you just, you just can't really do much about it. Refer to my last video for tips and tricks to help with a leaky eye.
No. Makeup primers that don't do
MUA
shit.
Alessandro again.
To come from Milk
Okay,
Hydro
what are we
Grip,
doing
but
here?
fucking
What's this?
failed. This claims to be hydrating, but it's actually quite drying. Like, your foundation will literally look more luminous with just moisturizer. e.l.f. Tone Adjusting Primer was such a disappointment. It doesn't reduce redness like it claims, and it makes your foundation just slide right off. Most of YSL beauty products are phenomenal, but this primer did not do it for me. It's literally just a glorified moisturizer.
Interesting. Okay, let's talk about priming, shall we? So, primers, I feel like primers get a bit of a bad rap. I sometimes use a primer, sometimes I don't. It really does depend on the effect that I want to go for. I feel like there's been a bit of a misconception around the idea of primers. Technically, your foundation, if you buy a mid to high-end range foundation, so something from like MAC, something from Clinique, something from Estee Lauder, who else have we got? YSL, any of these sorts of brands, they should already have skin-caring ingredients within their foundation. What they're trying to sell you is the idea of putting lots of silicone on your skin in a certain area to give the appearance it looks flat. Unfortunately, quite often, this can end up disturbing the way your concealer and your foundation look. Now, that's not to say that you absolutely should never use a primer ever. I do use a primer. The primer that I'm currently using, let me get it, my loves. I believe this is called the Startup Pore Primer by Time Walk. It is a Korean skincare-based pore-filling primer. I absolutely love this stuff. It does say pore primer to help make skin smooth, as in Photoshop. I don't think it Photoshops your skin. There is nothing on this planet that's going to Photoshop your skin in real life. You're still going to see texture. You're still going to see pores. You're still going to see makeup on the skin because makeup never looks invisible. What you're trying to do with your makeup application, your priming, your skincare, your foundation, everything is to minimize how much like makeup it looks, unless you're going for that look, of course. With a pore filling primer, that's exactly what it is. It fills pores. So don't put it everywhere on your skin. I like to put a little bit here and then massage it up underneath my eyes. Not putting lots underneath here because as soon as you start to put filling underneath here, I feel like it starts to exaggerate all of the small smaller, finer, like movement lines everyone has underneath their eyes. I also like to put a little bit down here because I do have a little bit of texture that I could, you know, could do without, to be honest. And I like putting a little bit between my eyebrows as well for the very same reason. That is the only area I will put primer on. It does not need to go all over the skin, unless, of course, you're trying to target a very specific thing. Maybe it's redness, maybe it's dry skin, any of those things. Primer needs to be considered in its placement, and it needs to be used sparingly. Otherwise, I really do feel like it just makes everything look bad. I can't put primer on my nose. Regardless of how many pores I have, I just can't, because eventually, after a few hours, it brings all the oil to the surface of my skin and my foundation just slides right off or starts to look cakey. Even with double wear, girls! So yes, if you're going to use a primer, make sure you only apply it to the areas you feel that you need to apply primer. You don't have to apply it all over the skin, and you certainly do not need to use as much as makeup retailers are telling you that you do. Okay, good. Ooh, what's this? Oh no, copyright, no, be quiet. Makeup Celebrity Fails Part 4. Right, what's this? Oh, goodness me. Oh no. America's Next Top Scandal, girls. So. This looks like it's a slightly older makeup look, maybe from the mid-2000s, something like that. I feel like this kind of a thing was kind of in, that sort of like smoked out grunge effect. The thing with something like this is, I always feel it looks a bit unbalanced when there's so much shadow and not enough eyelash involved. Like, this would probably look okay if it was saved by a big pair of lashes that make the eye shape balance with how much eyeshadow we're seeing. That's kind of it, really. I mean, I guess this was in the era also of, like, don't really do a lot with your brows. Anytime you have a lighter brow with heavier makeup, it always does look a little bit odd. And in certain circumstances, with the faux bleached brow effect, it can be really good and effective looking. But most of the time, it doesn't look that good. And I'm really sorry for saying that, but my opinion is correct. Bitch! All right, who do we have next? Nicki Minaj, nose contour. Nose contouring. Nose contouring is one of the hardest things you can ever do on someone else, because I feel like it's one of those things that personally develop over time. If you're a makeup artist, it's very unlikely that you're going to have one client, see them once, and do their nose contour absolutely perfectly on the first time. I'm sure every makeup artist in the audience here can agree. If you become a client's regular makeup artist, you can kind of see what works, you can become a bit more friendly, you can kind of spend that little bit more time finessing exactly a flattering contour for the nose, but it's a very difficult thing. In fact, actually, I would say nose contouring is kind of the hardest part about makeup, for me anyway, because as soon as a nose contour moves in 3D space, the illusion can be immediately ruined by any misplacement of anything, for example, in this photo here. I will also say, this was an interesting choice of eyelash. I don't know why. It's just full-on batshit bonkers at the edge, and then just like nothing from like the inner half. Interesting. Oh, Claudia Winkleman. Claudia. Oh, Claudia. One too many Merlots last night. Oh, see, I do not think this is a fail. Leighton Meester. Who is Leighton Meester? What has she been in? She looks familiar. Ah, she was in Gossip. Of course she was. Oh, yes. I don't feel like this is a makeup fail. I feel like this is an unflattering photo. And I do feel like that is something to remember when we see some of these photos of celebrities. In the first episode of this series that I started, we saw a lot of flashback phenomenon, which usually happens with a silicone-based powder because it catches the light and immediately reflects just like a mirror and causes like bright whiteness wherever the powder has been placed. That isn't necessarily a fault of the makeup artist. I mean, I guess it kind of is. If you know that flash photography is going to be taken, you wouldn't use a silicone-based powder. That's just my opinion. That's not necessarily entirely the makeup artist's fault, because it is just a phenomenon that happens in photography. You wouldn't see that in real life. This, I feel like, is an unflattering photo of makeup that is quite nice. Clearly, she's caught in the middle of a laugh here. I mean, who looks glamorous in the middle of a laugh? British media have this horrible trend of making celebrities look like they're drunk when they're out with their friends having a giggle and someone's caught them going, ah ha ha, and then they've posted on the front page, lady is drunk, and she's like, because she's having fun and giggling and they've caught a snapshot. This is one of those things for me where it's like, don't trust everything you see online, both for a good reason and for a bad. Sometimes things can look worse than they ever were in real life, and sometimes things can look a lot better than they ever will be in real life. I must admit, maybe the concept of blending quite a shimmery purple underneath the eye with such a like gold liner on the eyelid, maybe that's not exactly the most flattering look, but I don't hate it. I really don't. Again, maybe an eyelash could have really saved this look, but I love that red. That red for a lip, gorgeous. And she's just a little bit on the paler side. Nothing wrong with it, girls. No. Who else do we have? Oh my goodness me. Christina, girls. Okay, should we talk about Christina Aguilera's makeup here, shall we? This was a dark time. The plague. It was just a time in which it was basically full drag, just drop of the hat, full drag, every time they're on a red carpet. In the mid-2000s, there was a very interesting collection of makeup. We hadn't really hit that whole idea of like, just, you know, clean girl aesthetic, just a little bit of lip gloss, bit of mascara, oh, maybe no makeup at all, no. We hadn't hit that at all. We were doing full-on, bright orange, bronze, hot pink, lip gloss, bright blue eyeshadow, skinniest brows you've ever seen, but they're also jet black and uneven, and that is exactly what we see here. It kind of is giving that sort of MySpace meets the 80s meets glamour model, and that is a very interesting Venn diagram because it is just a circle of orange at the end of the day. But I think there are some redeeming things about this. Like, I actually don't hate the lip. I know I just was like, oh my god, pink lip gloss. I think a pink lip gloss actually looks really cute, as long as it's like a working tone. I must admit, I'm not sure I quite agree with the applique of the pink, shall we say, but I like the lip gloss, and that's all I'm going to say on that one, I think. So, my lovelies, I think I've seen as much as I can cope with today here on the Chanel, my loves. I hope you have enjoyed this little bonkers step down, I don't know, TikTok memory lane. Is that a thing? My goodness, one day we're going to say, do you remember TikTok? Do you remember doing all that on TikTok? Oh, isn't that alarming? Oh, I don't like that. Existential crisis, girls. So what have we seen today, Mr. Biscuits? We've seen some hair accidents. We've seen some bleaching accidents. We're not going to put any hair bleach on you, are we? No, not even a toner. No, although he does have whitening shampoo. Just like Mummy.
Naughty Mummy.
So, my loves, let me know what you think about the absolute abject horror and nonsense that we have seen today, because one thing absolutely does terrify me. Every single time I do my roots, I do always think, is this the time? Is this it? Is this the time that all of my hair falls out? Is this it? Even though I've been doing them for like nearly 20 years. Disgusting. Welcome to another one of whatever this is, my loves. Let's watch unhinged makeup tutorials on TikTok. Fails, beauty fails, more fails, hair fails, and other skincare fails. Have you been enjoying the series, little biscuit? Do you even care?
No.
So, my lovelies, it hasn't actually been that long since I did the last one of these. If you don't know who I am, my name is Luxeria. I've been a professional makeup artist for 16 years. 16 years, biscuit. And I also have a biochemistry degree with a particular interest in formulation, don't I, biscuit? Yes.
Beautiful.
Throughout these videos, I like to use my expertise to understand exactly what the outcome was meant to be from whatever it is the person is trying to do in the video, and also pepper in a little bit of science to maybe understand why exactly it didn't go right, or why it did go correctly. You just don't know anymore, do you?
No.
So, my loves, I do in fact have TikTok. If you wish to tag me in some absolute abject horror and nonsense over there related to beauty and makeup fails, then it is XXLuxeria. In the last episode of Unhinged Makeup TikTok Fails, my lovelies, we watched a video in which Nikki Tutorials incorrectly used a product, and it created quite the discourse in the comments. So much discourse online, in fact, that one of the key makeup artists at MAC, I think he's the international head of design, I think, Dominic MUA, made an Instagram reel to demonstrate how to correctly use the product. And that product, of course, is the little twisty up lip drip gloss in a tube things.
Oh, that's nice.
A lot of you guys in the comments actually say that you love that product. I'm gonna say, although I haven't tried it, it doesn't look like a product I would particularly enjoy because it doesn't seem like it's easy to sanitize. Unless, of course, you don't use it as a lipstick at all. So, my lovelies, make sure you grab yourself a little beverage. Today, I am on the Monster Energy Ultra Fiesta because I'm back on the caffeine. Also, one of my last videos, I was like, I'm not drinking that much caffeine anymore. And I picked up Pepsi Max and people in the comments were like, oh my god, doesn't she know that it has caffeine in it? Yes, I'm aware, but I don't drink Pepsi Max for the effect of a caffeinated beverage. I drink it for the flavor. All right, my lovelies, pop in your little ochanger and let's watch some unhinged makeup fails from TikTok, shall we?
Hold on to your titties.
Oh, so it looks like the first one is by that influencer on TikTok who had the scandal with the, was it the telescopic eyelash mascara? That one where she was caught being naughty, naughty, naughty. And she also pronounces Kim Kardashian as like, Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian.
Oh, I can see some interesting eyebrows. I'm also part of the Interesting Eyebrows Club. I had very interesting eyebrows for a long time because I was quite punk and club kid. Let's see what Michaela has to say for herself.
My prom makeup is likely the biggest
This is prom makeup. Oh dear.
Of my lifetime.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna recreate it just for you.
What is her accent? It's like an accent I've never heard before.
Let's recreate what is probably the worst makeup I've ever done.
Okay.
This was my dress. I actually, like, literally fought to have this dress.
That's a nice dress.
I was so in
It reminds me of, like, Southern Italy, lemons.
So first things first, we need to cover up the eyebrows. I ain't
course,
shaving
because,
my eyebrows
yeah.
off. No.
Gigantic,
so
yes.
first I'm gonna plaster them down.
Plaster down
I'm gonna set
eyebrows.
that with a little bit of translucent powder.
Yes.
The shit I do for TikTok.
Oh,
bro.
I wouldn't.
Now I'm gonna take
use...
a full coverage concealer and I'm gonna basically begin to paint concealer over my brows.
Oh.
Anyway.
I mean, it's quite amusing to have to shave your eyebrows off to do makeup looks. I used to also be part of the no eyebrows crew because I loved the idea of being able to manipulate where my eyebrows are. Now I've had a brow lift, I don't really need to do that very much. I will say though, I feel like eyebrow covering is one of the hardest parts of like transformative makeup, if you want to call it that, because it is a lengthy, laborious process. If you haven't done it 100 times, then you're probably not going to be able to do it very well. I cannot really do it that well. I would rather shave off my eyebrows if I was going to do a look like this.
Now I went in with a really pale matte foundation.
Dior.
Okay,
She's a Dior woman.
A
haunted Dior woman.
Concealer, which is like the triangles under the eyes, and it would be a shade.
I'd love to know when this makeup was from, because I feel like makeup, like beauty YouTube and like the beauty sphere was really intense in around 2016. Well, more like 2014 to 2017, I'm gonna say. Everyone was wearing too much concealer. Everyone was just doing too much, doing the most.
I've done it now, it's too bleeding late. What are they gonna do? Gonna shoot me? I doubt it. They have to catch me first, I'm like a whippet.
It was basically brands heaven because it was just advertisements everywhere. Use all of our products up, buy at least one concealer a week.
That's, you know, darker than the foundation. Okay, then I would bake. Okay.
Oh, at baking, so it probably is around this time.
ABH dip brow, I would always use shade Ebony.
Well, I used to use
now,
ABH.
The reason I did my eyebrows like this, I may or may not have idolized a certain someone, like, a lot. I would use an angled brow brush.
Is that who we think it is? Is that Jemima Starship?
And the goal was so I could have more room to do eyeshadow.
Yes, of course.
And I went through all high school doing my eyebrows like this. And no one said a word.
Oh.
I would add bronzer.
I don't think your eyebrows quite looked like that in
right
the
here.
previous photomatomogram.
Forehead. Okay, now for the winged liner, which I was decent at winged liner. Even then, I knew how to slay a wing, okay? I had a little bit of white eyeliner in my waterline.
The queen is dead.
For all the lashes. And I did have some lashes on. So
Wispy women.
Little bronzer in my crease.
Okay, oh, I do love a wing
liner.
liner.
A ton of highlighter.
Lots of highlighter. Okay, this has to have been in like 2016.
Stripe, bro. Okay, this pad is so bad. I would take MAC Flesh Pot, no lip liner, and I would just... And this was my prom makeup. These brows make me look like I am in a constant state of anger. So that's why no one wanted to date me in high school.
Okay, interesting. Well, I do actually think that this makeup look could really be saved with a little bit of lip liner and also a little bit of like the eyebrow reshaping, shall we say. There's something about like removing your eyebrows and drawing them higher that is very like it's a look, and if you're going for that look, there are ways that you can do it to make you still resemble a human being, but also enable you to have so much more space on your eyebrows. So for example, the very edge of my brows are completely gone. They're very shaven. In fact, I have a little bit of microblading. Unfortunately, this one's a little bit wonky, this eyebrow. So I still have to cover it and redraw her. If you're gonna start with completely removing your eyebrows, even if it's covered or if it's actually shaving, always start the front of your eyebrow in approximately where your natural eyebrow is. And then it sort of doesn't really matter what you do with the edge of the eyebrows, if you want them to go up and out or if you want them to go down a little bit, because as long as the front is still in that movable place that kind of anchors everything, you can kind of get away with some artistic freedom about what your tails are doing. Your tails can be doing all of this and it can still somewhat look salvageable.
She's a woman.
The other parts of this makeup I really like. I mean, I am a good fan of highlighter, but I do not apply it on top of everything now because I feel like it's just too intense. Even with powdered highlighters, I like to apply them into my wet foundation underneath my powder that I'm going to set with, because I feel like it gives that more sort of glow from within kind of vibe rather than just like, hello girls, a stripe of highlight, death. But if you love that, you love that. I do feel like flesh-colored lipsticks do need a little bit of like tone to go with them, a little bit of like lip contouring, just so you can still look like you have a defined lip shape. I'm just gonna say that. But you know what? Overall, not bad. I really do feel like this makeup is very of the time, though. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
This is my gorgeous client, Roxanne.
Oh dear. Okay, right. So we've already got a taste of what's gonna happen, basically, girls. Basically, she's gonna sob. She's gonna sob, 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 and sob. Sob kind of like you've ordered something very important before you go away from the country for a little while. You thought it was gonna arrive, but then unfortunately the delivery company said, we thought you were in, but we missed you, even though you were actually in, and you're left feeling like this. But for more context, shall we actually watch?
Gorgeous, soft but elegant look for a ceremony. And
beautiful
we
eye
started
shape.
off looking gorgeous. Skin was skinny. He always trusts me to deliver. And yeah, I was very excited. She was very excited as well. She does not even have teary eye. You can see me doing a black liner here using waterproof products, and it was beautiful. She got a sneak peek while we were doing the process, and she was very, very excited. So it's time for the reveal. Look at the finished look. Absolutely flawless and gorgeous. Oh, yeah. So she was so excited. So I handed her the mirror for the reveal, and she got really, really emotional. Oh, no! I thought it was just going to be a few teardrops. So I was like, okay, let it out. And then we had a river. I'm not even gonna lie, I was stressed. My anxiety was up. I was so stressed, but I had to keep it professional. I kept it together. I was like, it's okay, it's okay. We just need to let it completely dry. So I let her put on her dress and waited for like 20 minutes until it's completely dry. Oh, no. Then I went in with some waterproof products to fix the problem, and yeah, it ended up looking flawless and absolutely beautiful.
It does look absolutely gorgeous. Okay, my loves. Gosh, she's a gorgeous skin, absolutely beautiful. So, how do you combat a river of tears? How do you combat that, my lovelies?
Budget cuts.
There is only one thing you can really do in this situation. So, this actually comes from a really old drag hack that I learned in like 2010, I think, 2009. I actually learned it from Nina Flowers, believe it or not. What you do, your client's really upset, they're overwhelmed with emotion, you get them to stand up, and you basically have them stand like this. And you hold their hair out of the way, and you just let them cry. Let them cry. Cry. The point of that is to let all of the moisture just seep straight out and straight down. Not down the face, not on the clothes, not into the hair, just straight down onto the floor, onto a tissue, anything that you want. If you also want to doubly protect the makeup, grab some of those like Kleenex, those disposable tissues, hold it gently underneath the eyes, and just let them go for it. Just let them go. If you're telling someone, oh no, don't cry, then it's just gonna make it worse and make the whole situation a little bit more intense, and she's just overwhelmed with emotion. So yes, my lovelies, from a super old trick with makeup, just lean forward and let it out. And what an excellent time for today's Twitch shout out, my lovelies, which goes to Exo Medusa Biscuit. Yes, it does. Thank you so much for following me over on Twitch, you stunning woman on the go. And if you want to be in with a chance of being featured in my next video's Twitch shout out, make sure you follow me on Twitch. It is Luxeria Plays, and I stream every Monday and Thursday, my lovelies. And with that, it's back to the unhinged TikTok makeup fails.
I'm literally crying.
Throwback to when I couldn't go back to prom because my makeup was so bad.
They're so ugly. Oh my god, okay.
Oh, is that the inspiration photo?
What I wanted, okay. This is the pastels. And this is what I got.
Okay. I need to assess. Oh, the makeup artist did you dirty. Where can we even start with this? It feels like there was no skin base done. It feels like a shimmery powder was used all over everything. It looks like a very patchy foundation was used. Incorrect lip color. I mean, the eyeshadow application, okay, the shiny is in the right place. The eyelashes are on the eye. I do actually want to talk about this photo, though. I have seen this photo so many times. In fact, I think it's like one of those Pinterest, if you search like dramatic smoky eye on Pinterest, I think this is like the #1 most saved photo ever. It is so intensely edited. Beyond the point of recognition, I think even the model when she took this probably didn't even look anywhere near this. Anywhere near like this. Also, look at those lips. Goodness me, juicy woman. Unfortunately, in comparison, with this kind of a makeup, I honestly feel like you have to vet where you're going to. This kind of veers straight into the reaction videos that I sometimes do to Judy D's content, which is where she goes to the worst reviewed makeup artist in her city or in a town or somewhere specifically. This is I don't think this is very salvageable. It's not very often that I say this. But like, MAC Cosmetics is everywhere in the world. You could go into a MAC Cosmetics and have a 30-minute makeover and look more put together than this. And they're usually free for the price of a product. And for something like prom or another little event that I can't think of off the top of my head, it's well worth it to just pop into a counter somewhere and have a miniature makeover. If your budget can't stretch to having an actual freelance makeup artist, of course. So, oh, I'm sorry that this happened to you, but my goodness me. No. If someone had done this to me, I would have been like, excuse me, I can't leave the house. You've mugged me, girls. I'm never shopping in BHS again! Otherwise, disgusting save. I can't believe all this. You've mugged me, girls. Oh, what's this? Pov, your makeup won't stay on your face. Oh, no. Okay, wait. I need to see that again. Okay, this looks like she was wearing a mask or something. Like a mask on the face that's rubbed this. Or maybe glasses, perhaps. Like sunglasses have rubbed this. Okay, so this is a relatively, I say relatively, easy fix. So, let's just say you have a foundation. It's not staying on your face. You don't know why? It's just not there on your face, just not there.
Oh, that's terrible. Thank you.
I will say it does look like this foundation is not meant to be worn as full coverage as it is in this photo. I'm trying to say that in the nicest possible way. The reason why I say that is because you can see it's kind of cracked in the places that the skin would naturally move, and you can see that on the top lip, you can see that on the nasolabial folds, you can see that where our eye creases. I mean, I get eye creases, everyone gets eye creases. I don't get any creases down here because they're all full. Filler bitch. What do you do when you have a situation like this? So, several different options are available. If you have a particular foundation that you really, really love, you don't ever want to veer away from it, let's just say other foundations just don't work, it's this kind of vibe, it's your favorite foundation, you don't ever want to change from it, invest in a great primer and a great concealer to go with it. A good quality primer should help glue foundation to your face. Now, I don't suggest wearing that everywhere on the face, I just suggest wearing it in the areas that are high motion or that you're going to have rub off. Something like the e.l.f. putty, is it the e.l.f. blur? No, e.l.f. blurring, e.l.f. blur glue, blur glue, glue. e.l.f. glue primer applied across here and down here and maybe a little bit underneath the eyes, and then a pore filling primer across here. That would give you a very, very good, even base to start with to give it the best possible chance of lasting throughout the day. I would then say, do not use foundation here. Use concealer. Concealer is designed to give more high coverage payoff using less product. Same with here. Ironically, the word foundation makes you think it has to be used everywhere on the face. That's not always technically the case. Unless you're going on stage or doing something stage ready, you don't really have to wear that much makeup. I would suggest a very, very, very thin veil of foundation and then use your concealer to give you extra coverage in the areas that you need. It looks like she also powders on top of her foundation. Now, if you go for a powder foundation on top of that, you can find you can get even more coverage if you need that level of coverage without necessarily adding more in the liquid phase of the makeup.
She's educated.
Anything that is a liquid that dries down has the chance to crack. Powder foundation has less of a chance to crack, but you can also reapply it throughout the day if you do find certain areas are starting to look a bit missing, shall we say. So there are ways you can save this, but I would also say to invest in a better quality foundation. If you're not in any way, shape or form like bound to your foundation, go for something higher coverage and more longer wearing. For me, it's always Estee Lauder double wear. I find that I can wear this for a full 20 hours if I need to. Not that I often wear makeup that long now anyway, but it will not budge. I will look the same when I have applied it as the same when I take it off. Some people do find it's quite drying or tight on the skin. I just say just use the satin finish makeup setting spray when you've finished all of your face, and it gives you that little bit of like freshness back to the skin that helps it feel not like you're wearing a mask. But honestly, my lovelies, it is really unfortunate when this happens, and if you have to wear something like a mask or sunglasses, you are gonna face situations like this. So what I used to find when we all had to wear masks on public transport and things like that, I just would avoid wearing foundation across my nose, and I would kind of blend a bit of bronzer across my skin just to help reduce the redness.
A witch.
And that was how I kind of coped. I do the same when I have to wear my glasses, because anything that's touching your face where makeup is will eventually rub it off. It's just, unfortunately, physics.
I don't understand, I'm a simple woman.
But I'm gonna open this up to the floor here, my lovelies, to the floor. If you've got any tips or tricks to deal with makeup that just won't stay, it's just not here to stay, girls, please share them in the comments box below, because you never know, you might help someone out. All right, what's this? Gold eyes, nude, oh, she's a Pinterest woman, what I asked for. Is that the same woman we see? No, different. It's very similar. Right, okay, come on.
This is what I wanted, okay? This is the pastels, and this is what I got!
Oh my goodness, no, what? They've gone to an actual makeup artist, and they just haven't... This is not acceptable. Where are these makeup artists?
IKEA, the wonderful...
You've asked for this. And you get football, apparently. No. And then this is what you end up with. This is... very not good. This is nowhere near. I hope you didn't pay for this service, because this service should not, this is not an adequately qualified makeup artist. This is not someone who should be advertising a business. Whoever did this makeup needs to actually either join a counter team, join a training school, or actually go and get some qualifications in beauty, because this is not the tea.
Is that tea?
No. I don't really know where to go from this, because you couldn't really just keep adding to it and hope that it gets better, if you know what I mean. As I mentioned earlier, there are plenty of places you can go and get a counter style makeover. Granted, they are counter styles, so they're not going to be like
the same as a freelance bijou makeup artist that can spend 3 hours on a face to get you ready for the stage, girls.
Be realistic from what you require when you head into a retail establishment and get a counter-based makeover, but you'll be able to get something better than this. Oh my god, okay, what is this audio? Is this audio trending at the moment? It's like, I'm literally crying. This is what I wanted. This is what I asked for. Okay, the passport makeup. Let's talk about that. But first of all, let's watch the video, shall we?
I'm literally crying over my nails right now.
What's gonna happen, girls? Okay, so she wanted the bijou, and she got the what? The Beast of Bogner.
This is what I wanted, okay? This is the pastels.
Oh no.
And this is what I got.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
No.
Okay, let's talk about the passport makeup, shall we? I feel like there is a little bit of a weirdness when it comes to passport makeup. Obviously, I live in the UK, and we have quite strict rules on what you can and can't have in a passport photo. I remember back in the day them being like, you can't wear heavy makeup, you can't do it, guys, not allowed, blah. My passport photo looks absolutely repugnant. So the cameras the machines use have a very specific focal length, which flattens everything on your face, which is why a lot of these passport-style makeup tutorials base heavily around contouring and bringing shape back to the face. The danger, of course, you go with that is because passport photos kind of desaturate a little bit. Most, I think they're actually black and white. Are they actually black and white? Let me look at mine.
No.
Yes, they're not black and white. They do, in fact, desaturate slightly. The problem is when you start desaturating things with heavy pigment color, especially if anything's red on the skin, like blush tones, any deep orange blush or bronzer, it's going to come out gray, and it's going to make you look exactly like this problem here. Like you've got huge shadows here, which is just not going to look great when you pull out your passport at immigration and you're like, let me into your country, and they're like, are you a clown?
Love that. And
you have to be like, no, I was just feeling a bit unwell that day. Sorry. because passports are kind of expensive and you don't want to have to like renew them because you're like, oops, I've made a mistake with my makeup. Nobody's passport photo ever looks 100% authentic or brilliant because the focal length of the camera flattens your features. And I don't think anyone, when they completely are flattened to a 2D image, looks anything like what they do in 3D reality.
Oh, scandalous.
However, if you still want to feel a little bit glam, a little bit lovely for a passport photo, just stick with lighter makeup. I think that's a much nicer way to do it. Stick with like minimal blush. I'm talking like minimal blush, just a little bit up here. Try to avoid highlighter because you'll end up oversaturating that area. A sensible nude lip liner, maybe like a little tiny bit of contouring, around the eyes, maybe just a little bit of mascara, and limited liner. I followed my advice here and I've got quite a good little face on in my passport photo, but I still find, even now to this day, that the automatic passport things you have to put in to scan your face, they always go, no, I don't know who you are, no. Go to the lady and tell her what you've done, and then I have to go to the lady and be like, it does not recognise my face. And then they're like, oh, okay, come in. Are you sure? And I'm like, oh, made to feel like a criminal every time. I hate it. Awful. The moral of this sonnet is, my lovely, less is more when it comes to passport makeup, and try to avoid heavy red tones.
In case you missed it, I just recently shaved my eyebrows, and the main comments that I got were like, no, young people learn from us. We're still growing our eyebrows back.
Every millennial gasping right now. Eyebrows never recovered.
I'm actually a millennial. I'm almost 30. I'm gonna show you guys what my eyebrows actually looked like in that era.
Okay.
Warning, it's awful, and no, I did not learn my lesson.
Okay. Oh, my space.
The house phone. This I will accept. This one's a little
Sperm
iconic,
eyebrows.
and the hot Cheeto fingers are
Love
definitely
it.
adding a little touch. Don't worry though, things started to get better.
Oh yes.
Kinda.
Sort of. Yes. Oh my. Oh, that dog looks so cute. That's not a cat. So let's talk about eyebrows, shall we, my lovelies? No. I feel like the millennial experience is very much, oops, what happened to my eyebrows? I am still recovering from my eyebrow escapade, shall we say, in my younger years, but I did actually like the eyebrows that I had. I did super ridiculous, dramatic makeup every single day. I feel like nearly every millennial here in the audience, if you've ever been into makeup or worn makeup or wanted to experiment with makeup, you've had a journey with your eyebrows. What are my golden rules when it comes to eyebrows? Well, always start at the very edge of your nose. I feel like keeping a balance between the nose, the eyebrows, and the mouth is exactly what you need. You need the focus here to be less strong than the focus here and here if you want to do like eye-based makeup or lip-based makeup. Start your eyebrows just above your crease where your natural brow bone is. So I have quite a heavy brow, even though I've had half of it removed, I still have quite a heavy brow, and if I was to put them up here, it would just look so ridiculous on me. That doesn't mean I haven't done my eyebrows like that before and just looked absolutely ridiculous, but there we go. Personally, nowadays, I prefer less of an arch and more of a sort of flat upswing because I find that it lifts the very edge of my face and just gives a little bit more of like an upswing snatched look. That's my favorite look, and that's the personal look that I pursue. A little bit of a curve down can drag the outer edge of your eyeshadow and therefore your eye down and make everything look a little bit like, just a little bit like doe-eyed and a little bit sad, and quite often people don't really want that. No one's ever said to me, make me look really sad. No one has ever said that to me in my makeup chair. So I find if you want to have an arch, make sure that the tail of the arch finishes at the same level as the front of your eyebrow, the upper portion of the front of your eyebrow, and you can't really go wrong with that. It's then just a case of finding how thin or how thick you want your brows, and that is a personal preference. I prefer a sort of moderately medium thickness eyebrow. Any thicker than this and I start to feel a little bit masculine. Any thinner than this I start to be like, oh, aging my face, are we? How dare you? Oh, no, is this copyright music? No, shush. Right, when your eyebrow starts to fall off at Dave & Buster's and then you F up your new brow. Dave & Buster's? Is that like... What is that like Gucci and Dior?
No.
Dave & Buster's. Is that a restaurant? It looks like a restaurant. Oh no! Sorry, I have to watch again. I was too focused on Dave & Buster's. What's that? When your eyebrows... Right, so she's got peely on, sticky on. Oh, the temporary tattoo brows. Oh, she's trying to water an eyebrow on in a bathroom. I mean, you have got little bang pieces. People aren't really going to notice, are they? Are they? Why did she rip it off like that? Like she was waxing her eyebrow. I'm sorry, I need to watch this again. What's this?
Oh, dear God.
I feel like this might be a little bit of a naughty lady piss take. Right, she's doing that so quickly, and then she just kind of like yanks it off. Right. Okay, I feel like this was all done in a bit of a panic. I don't know, maybe she was like,
oh my God, my eyebrow, I have to do it quickly, I'm gonna die, we're getting the check and we're gonna leave, girl. The waiter's gonna look at me and scream.
Maybe that was the kind of vibe that she was currently dealing with in this specific situation. How do you fix a brow once she's gone awry?
Die.
When you use something like temporary tattoo brows, they're brows that you literally like put on your face, get wet, and then gently peel away to reveal a brand new eyebrow, the chances are if those have mucked up whilst you're out, it's going to be really, really difficult to reapply because you should in fact reapply them to clean, fresh skin. It already looks like she's wearing like a full face of makeup at this point, so applying that over the top of already applied eyebrows is never going to really work. For this sort of a situation, I would say carry an eyebrow pencil that's the same color as your roots on your hair in your bag, and you will never go wrong because you can just literally do little tiny flicks just to make it work. Just for that last little half an hour after dinner and then you're heading home from.
I'm melting! I'm melting!
I feel like this video could quite easily turn into a what's in my handbag. How very 2013. Honestly, carrying a small amount of makeup with you when you're out and about is the key to having like a long-lasting good makeup look that you can still feel quite happy with. That is something for your eyebrows, a little bit of powder for the face, and a lip product, and you can't really go wrong with that. I mean, if you're wearing false eyelashes, I would always say carry an eyeliner with you as well, just in case you have to peel them off at some point and then just like smudge it in with a little bit of liner, just so you know that you can still look nice even if you're not wearing lashes, or alternatively take your glue with you as well. Doing my makeup as I slowly realize I'm having an allergic reaction to my foundation. Oh, not anaphylaxis, sis. I don't want to do all this, no. When's it gonna happen? Oh, it's like we're watching a jump scare, like that car driving through the hills and that lady's like, ah! Coffee? What weird advert is that? Right, is it gonna happen? What's gonna happen next, girls? Oh, little bit of blush, yes. Oh, that's a nice blush tone. Very light. Little bit of highlighter, yes. Oh, yes, yes. Starting to get itchy. Okay, right. Oh, dear. Notice red blotches. Oh, TikTok, like, blurs skin, so I can't really see the detail. Oh, no, I see some redness. Ooh. Oh, yeah, no, she's very...
Wow, that's depressing. Holy shit.
Oh, no. Oh, she's actually, yes, very red.
Well, that's my get ready.
Oh, I'm sorry that happened to you. What can you do when an allergy hits? Not really a lot. Make sure you get that product immediately off your skin. Only really using super gentle soaps. Now, annoyingly, I actually have a sensitivity to aloe vera. So if I'm having a skin reaction to anything, I can't reach for those things that are like hypoallergenic, safe for skin, Gats, because I will literally go pink and blister. In this sort of a situation, I would say immediately rinse the skin with cold water. Depending on the severity of your reaction, you may also need to go to A&E, but hopefully a foundation would never cause that. My goodness. It's weird, isn't it, how we can all have like reactions to different products and different variations of those products. Like I remember one of my eyes once getting very sensitive to a brown eyeliner, like a brown liquid liner. I can't remember what the brand was, but I had it in black and in brown. My eyes hated the brown one. Don't know why, just did. If this was a foundation that she's used multiple times before and not had this effect from, I would have been very confused because I feel like humans can just suddenly develop allergies because the body is like that. Isn't that funny? Biochemistry, the body just goes, you know what? Not today. Blip. So, my lovelies, I've got some thoughts of what we've seen today. We've seen a good collection today, I think, of more milder makeup fails, should we say. Well, maybe not the allergy. That's quite an intense one, I would say. Are you gonna cry on your wedding day biscuit after I get you in full glam? A gorgeous bijou eyelash? Yes. Welcome to another episode of this, unhinged TikTok makeup fails video? What is this, episode 7?
Well, yes.
Hello, my lovelies. How are you doing? It's been a couple of weeks since we've done one of these. You guys absolutely love this series, and I also love to share my expertise in this series as well. So, my lovelies, if you haven't seen me before, my name is Luxeria. I have been a makeup artist for 16 years. And I also have a biochemistry degree because I have a profound interest in the way things work. specifically under this sort of thing, formulation, and why a product may or may not be ideal for the reason that someone is having the fail, or why a hack might not work. Cancelled! Already in these videos, we've seen like a handful of absolute chaotic nonsense. We've seen, what have we seen? We've seen scrape the eyebrows off. We've seen underpainting, who, whence, when, or why-mst. And we've also seen, help, my eyelid is glued shut, which, you know, only really ends up in one way, doesn't it? A trip to the hospital, which isn't fun for anyone. Nobody plans that day to be like, oh my God, you know what I really want to do? Sit in A&E for 8 hours. Bimbo! Anyway, my loves, I'm in a very odd mood today in the studio here. Oh, yes.
She's dead.
So, my lovelies, make sure you grab yourself a beverage. Today, I am on the Pepsi Max, drunk from the skull of my enemies, because what? Classy. Make sure you pop your hanger right into your little TikTok hole. And if you want to tag me in any unhinged makeup videos that you see over on TikTok, it is XX Luxeria over there. So yes, my loves. Are you ready? Should we watch this? I don't know what to expect in any of these videos that we come across, so be prepared for some grotesqueness, be prepared to be spooked, be prepared, well, for a little bit of anything, really.
Pick up your Amazon Prime stick, honey, and click play.
Oh God, right, okay. Makeup and eye infections. Oh, is this gonna be disgusting, girls?
Makeup and eye infections.
Right.
Let's talk about it.
Yes, let's.
So, this is me a week and a half ago. Yep. You can see how pretty my eyes look like. This is an eye infection. Yeah, beautiful, right? It was itchy, it was red, it was painful. I had the pus coming out.
So gooey.
And honestly, I got antibiotic drops, I got tear watering drops, all that stuff.
What happened?
And since then, I haven't worn any makeup, no creams, nothing, because, you know, I don't want to contaminate anything.
Yes.
But one thing I want to mention about makeup. Makeup can cause eye infections.
Yes.
Specifically, mascara.
Yes.
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 There's expiration on it. This one says, you can see 6M, 6 months. Guess what? 3 months. 3 months. Toss that thing. Don't use it. They harbor bacteria. This is moist. Also, another thing is pencil liners.
Yes.
Yep. So sharpen them. Don't use them if they're expired. Save your eyes.
Oh my goodness. Yes, this lady. Thank you, lady. No, my goodness me. I'm so sorry that happened to you. But this is something I am perpetually shocked about. So I have a series here on the Chanel that I do occasionally, which is reacting to the worst reviewed makeup artist in X city or something like that. Quite often, the level of hygiene and sanitization is 0. In fact, it's less than 0. Quite often, it's worse.
Oh, scandalous.
One of the things that I always try and instill in like upcoming makeup artists or even people that just want to get better at makeup in their own home, make sure you keep your station sanitary, keep your products sanitized, keep a hand sanitizer nearby, keep sanitization spray nearby. Try and keep things as clean as possible, because these are the things that are going like inside your face and inside your eyes, inside your mouth, and you just don't want them to cause problems. That eye infection looked particularly bad, and I'm genuinely shocked that that came from something like a mascara. That looked like a pretty serious infection. It did not look fun to have, did not look nice in any way, shape, or form. No. Generally, when we talk about formulations of products, when something has like a 6M or a 12M, and it's got a little icon of something being like undone, I'll try and put a picture in so you can see what I'm talking about. That means from the date that you open it, after that number has been reached and gone past, the product cannot guarantee that the preservatives are working against mold and against spores, against bacteria, against fungus growth, any of that. So please do yourself a favor. I know it's always a bit like,
oh no, what's gonna happen next? I really like this specific thing from 4 years ago.
And it's like, okay, you can keep it if it's nice and it looks cute and it's wonderful and blah, 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 blah. Maybe it's an exclusive part of a collection. Just don't use it. Don't use it. The amount of things that actually like touch our face and then go onto our makeup. Pressed powder is one of these things. Sponges. Sponges are literally just like sponges. That's what they do. They go,
oh, delicious. Is this eggs of a bacterium I spy?
Bacterium don't actually have eggs, but there we go.
Oh, bacterial eggs. Just what I need to grow into this disgusting blob. Hopefully I find an eye to go in soon.
How vile.
Bacteria do not care. Bacteria just love to thrive on something that's wet with lots of food. And what does that sound like? An eyeball, perhaps? Mmm, delicious. No, no, no.
No.
If you want to know how to sanitize things, let's talk about it. So you've got eye pencils here, which were mentioned. Dip it in rubbing alcohol for 5 seconds, take it out, dab off the excess, sharpen it, dip it in rubbing alcohol again, wait for it to dry. How do you sanitize a mascara? Well, You can't really sanitize a liquid. I mean, you can if you're like, if you have like a laboratory, but like most of you guys aren't gonna have a laboratory in your home, are you? Don't ask me.
Deranged.
If you're worried about eye makeup infections, use the makeup artist way of dealing with mascara, which is you scrape it out onto a sanitized palette or surface, and then you apply that mascara with a disposable wand, and you never re-dip it back into the packaging, because that's how they love to thrive, all those nasties, so let's not do any of that. Right, what's the next one, girls? Test, right, so what are we doing? Microbiology. Oh, we're testing bacterial growth. What is this song? Oh, what is that? What is that? Oh my god, this person's got loads of these. Oh my god, we're gonna have to watch a few of these. What is that? Okay, so we've got some interesting individual little colonies of grossness. We've got a little bit of like hair, fine hair mold. Is that cotton spore? Is that what it's called? Cotton something. Grows on rice quite often. Oh, we've got some black mold. You don't want any black mold on the lungs. No. All of this from a used makeup sponge. Also, what was that song? Should we listen again? What is that? Is that Mozart, but like Screamo? Call of Duty. Resident Evil. I can't believe that's after 2 days. I fucking love a Petri dish.
Ew, Michelle.
I want to look at a couple of other ones of these, because these are insane. Try a cotton pad. Try the cotton pads. Oh my, is this Cupcake? What is this song? Am I having a fever dream? Oh, she's a clean woman. This... What is this? Sensory overload, my love. Sensory overload. Okay, so let's talk again about some sanitization, shall we? Don't always assume when you go to a counter or when you go to like a makeup place that it's always going to be 100% clean. It should be, and be prepared to like mention something if it's not, but sometimes it isn't. But do you know what? Sometimes I'm very glad that it actually is. So here, she has swabbed some cotton pads from a disposable counter. Did we see what counter it was? What is that? I can't quite see what that is. It looks like it's in a Sephora, perhaps? It looks a bit drugstore, a bit like a gondola in a drugstore.
Well, yes.
I am absolutely fascinated to know that those cotton pads don't have anything growing on them. That is excellent. I'm sure if you were to repeat this somewhere else, you might find bacterial growth on those cotton pads. I always think if you're going out shopping for makeup or anything like this, always hand sanitizer between you picking up and putting things down, and never put something on your face or your skin without asking someone to sanitize it first. I know this is kind of difficult because quite a lot of these places aren't manned. Depends if you're doing a tester, like testers on the back of your hand, absolutely fine. Do not, okay, so I used to work for a leading cosmetics brand. The amount of like shocking stories I can tell you about just like the way that the public is just so trusting and like do whatever they want. So do not see a line of lipsticks out there to test and just go, oh my God, oh look at this, I'll put it on here, put it out my hole. Hello! Never do that. The amount of people that I saw who would just literally stuff something straight on their lips from the countertop and be like, not give me a second to actually be able to interject, be like, let me sanitize that so you can actually try it. Don't do that. It is so gross. If you look away for a split second and 3 people have done that in a row, you don't know what they've got on their lips. You don't know if they've eaten anything. You don't like, it's very that meme of like, don't always trust cooking in other people's houses. Don't always trust the lipstick testers at a counter in your mall. Don't do it. It's not worth potentially having an infection like the lady beforehand, even though that seemed like it was her mascara. I really want to watch another one of these. I want to see something really gross. Come on, what's next? Ooh. Okay, eyeshadow applicator. Okay. Oh, very colourful. Okay, right, I can't bear this song any longer. Oh, look at that. Look at that. And that was on an eyeshadow applicator, so that potentially could go into your eyeball. So, someone here in the comments has said something very interesting. They're called thick garbage. And they say, hi, this is misleading. I study and teach biology as a part of my doctorate. These are very common and harmless colonies of bacteria and fungi. So, That is true. That is absolutely true. Not every type of colony of bacteria is bad. In fact, if you look at our gut microbiome, we have millions and billions of different types of bacteria that lives in our system. In fact, it lives on our body at all times of the day or night. If you have a, let's say, a disorder that might reduce your immune system, that's when things can start to happen. And of course, sometimes, you know, there's always anomalies. Sometimes there's just a bacteria in the right place at the right time, and that can cause problems. But I will say, although sometimes perhaps they are harmless, it's just safe to make sure that you are sanitary. Right, let's take a step away from cupcake and the sound of blowjob, shall we? Not the glizzy man.
No.
Oh my goodness me, right, what's this? Okay, it's called Bake, Set and Glam or something like that. Bake, Set and Glam. Right, let's have a look. What's this? Oh, thank goodness they're not doing anything about infections. It's been very infection heavy already today.
Apply on your concealer, blend it out like normal, set it with the lightest amount of powder, just enough to set it into place and to get it mattified.
Yes.
And then go in with the baking technique.
Interesting.
What you gotta remember is this: blend, set, bake. Blend, set, bake. Blend.
Okay, right, well, let's have a little look at the end there, shall we? So stop! She looks absolutely gorgina here. I will say, all of these apps, Instagram Reels, TikTok, well, actually YouTube doesn't even do this. YouTube Shorts doesn't do this. The quality of the upload always gets a bit distorted when it's uploaded to these platforms. So for some reason, people's skin always looks just gorgeous when you have makeup on in these videos. And I think sometimes that can be a bit misleading. We as consumers, and we as makeup professionals as well, need to teach people to have realistic expectations as to why, you know, I can see her skin here is a bit blurred underneath the eyes, so it's not gonna quite look like that in real life. Even my skin on my cameras is never going to quite look exactly the same as it does in real life. That's just a fact of technology. What we heard here, I think the voiceover here is it Spencer, painted by Spencer, painting with Spencer? I'm sure I've heard his voice before. What they say is when you've applied your concealer and you've blended it out. Now, I always say, don't use a lot of concealer. You need to use a less amount of concealer than you think you do. You might just need to use a better quality concealer. Set that area with powder before you go in and set the whole face. Baking is a little bit of a... what's the word? It's a little bit, is it controversial? Is that the word? Controversial yet brave. It's not controversial. That's not what I'm looking for. What word am I looking for? It's like debated in the makeup artist community. I am a fan of baking if I'm doing makeup that requires it. And of course, the point of being a makeup artist is then you know the context in which you might need it. So for example, today I was using a palette that has a lot of fallout and a little bit of kickback, but I really like the color payoff that it gives. So I do a little bit of baking. However, if you are this way inclined, you could do your eye makeup on top of an eye makeup base before you apply the rest of your skin. Some people love doing that, some people don't. I don't really like working in that way. When you need to set the underside of your eye, don't go in with your massive powder brush that you're going to go in with everything else, or your huge powder poof and do all this, you know, like, what's it called? Like baked like a chicken, like dusted like a Cornish hen. Don't do any of all that. Go in with an eyeshadow blending brush, something small but fluffy that can easily fit in this area. Pop it onto your pressed powder or your loose powder, whatever it is that you need. Tap off a little bit of the excess and gently dab it underneath the eye, blending out these little areas. Give it a couple of seconds, you know, just to let it do its thing, and then go in with your powder all over your face. That will give you a much more of a softer, much more well-finished area underneath the eye, but don't use too much powder. If you do, you can end up with like crinkly crepe paper under eyes. And nobody wants that, do they? No.
You don't know me!
So actually a very useful technique that I still to this day, well, I haven't done wedding makeup for ages, but it's something that I used to do quite often when doing a wedding makeup, because it actually gives that long-lasting effect and it can look really beautiful in camera. Right, what's next? What's next? Oh, it is, yeah, look, it is who I thought it was. Look, we've got Painted by Spencer. Oh, I do love Painted by Spencer. He does look a little bit wacky. Definitely a fan of the Juvederm, but very good with makeup. So let's hear what Spencer has to say today.
Here's an easy trick to make your eye makeup look like it's a bit more polished and professional.
Right, I want some polished eye makeup.
I love recommending this to my clients and friends because you don't have to go out and buy anything. Chances are you already have what you need, and it only takes a couple seconds. You're gonna grab yourself a flat-ended brow brush along with an eyeshadow that's quite a few shades lighter than your natural skin tone. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna stamp it right below your winged eyeliner. Pressing it on and slowly diffusing smoothing it out. So
Yes.
you'll notice I'm taking that lower lash line and following it straight outwards. I really like doing this because it lifts the cheekbone and highlights it, but also cleans up the eye makeup. Now what I do is, I mean, you can use a blending brush, but I just take my finger to soften out those edges. And that's all there is to it. Try it out, and I hope you like it.
Okay, Spencer. Okay, so I love this technique. I don't know if I would agree with necessarily using an eyeshadow that's quite that light, because I still feel like it needs to be in the same color story as the rest of your skin, but I do this all the time. I don't really do it with eyeshadow, so if you look at my eye makeup today, you'll notice I have a golden line underneath my winged eyeliner. That's because today I didn't want to spend too long finessing my liner by hand. I just wanted to put it on, get it done, make it symmetrical, and go. The way that I do that is I applied a gold liquid liner from the edge of my underside of my eye to just tidy up the wing that I did in black. My actual favorite product that I use for this, and it comes in a range of colors actually, is the Kiko Milano Cosmetics liquid liners, and they come in like whites, blue, gold, silver, like they come in a gorgeous array of tones, and that's what I use if I want a little bit more of a subtle effect. I know, gold eyeliner, subtle, hoomst. I wish they did some like skin tone colors. If you really love this trick and you really want to finesse it perfectly for you, get your concealer and a very, 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 very fine liner tip brush, and just do a light line underneath your liner, and it will instantly sharpen and snatch everything up and out the most gorgeous way. As I said multiple times on this Chanel, it is easier to correct a line than it is to like make it bigger, try and balance it out, make it bigger again, try and balance it out again, make it bigger, and you end up with just like panda eyes. No.
God.
You can also do this trick, I do this quite often on the Chanel, you've probably seen it, is I use glitter liner going out from underneath. So my eyeliner is even more emphasized because it's got like a glitter strike underneath it, and it's very eye-catching, and I get lots of compliments on it. And you can also match that glitter to the inner corner if you want that real foxy snatched effect. I do absolutely adore Painted by Spencer. I wish I knew him in real life because he's so soft and lovely. Right, what's next? Who do we have next, girls? What's this? Who is that?
Tell me why I had the girl at Sephora color match my face.
Oh.
And this is what she gave me.
Oh, I thought she was getting ready for like a costume or something. Oh no! Right, wait, what? So she's been to Sephora, she's gone up to the counters and gone, excuse me lady, excuse me lady, can you help me? I do not know the Sade. What's the Sade? Tell me the Sade. And they've gone, do you know what?
Die.
Your shade is PS5 controller white. Obviously incorrect. Now, unfortunately, I don't know where she went to. I guess she just went to Sephora. I think in Sephora it's a little bit different to what we have in the UK, which is mainly in the UK we have like different people, like different makeup artists working at different counters that can or should be well trained enough to be able to shade match you with their products. I don't know how it works in America in Sephora, but I have heard that like you just go in and you find one person that sort of knows all brands, which sounds wild to me because I don't think you could ever know everything about all brands ever. How would you? Impossible. I learn one thing, another thing falls out. Bimbo! The tips and tricks to shade matching accurately. First of all, look at the undertones. Do they have blue appearing veins or do they have green appearing veins? And that's how you can tell if someone is cool tone skin or warm tone skin. And then if they have any variation between that, maybe it's slightly purple, maybe it's like a darker sort of like gray green, that potentially means that they have more of a neutral undertone. Once you've got that worked out, the way that I used to do this is get a little makeup palette and get several swatches out of different foundation shades. Put all of the dots in a little line, get yourself a disposable tissue, print it down, and drag it across the neck and the jaw. Wait for a couple of seconds, maybe do a little bit of blending if there's a little bit too much with your finger, and just wait. Wait and see. Be like, oh, as the color changes over the next 60 seconds, 2 minutes or so, which one's gonna fit the best? Have a little look-see in the mirror. And if you're the consumer, you can actually say, oh my goodness, I'm just gonna go and look at this outside in natural daylight. Because do you know what? In-store lighting, that fluorescent green and somehow also orange at the same time lighting, is not accurate to what you will look outside, under different lighting, under flash, or any other different types of lighting. And I think that is exactly what's happened here. Cancelled! Clearly, the person at Sephora has gone, oh my goodness, I'm gonna put this light color on. Maybe they had like slightly orange-looking lights in wherever it was, whichever store it was, and of course that would cast an orange shadow, so you don't wanna go too dark, because then you would end up looking much deeper toned than you are. She's left, gone home, had a look around, and gone, oh, Casper the Friendly. So basically what I'm trying to say is, as a consumer, you're allowed to be like, okay, can I just look at this outside just to make sure that it is the right tone? And at least then you've got something that works. One of the hardest parts about finding makeup that works is actually knowing what it is that you need. And I feel like one of the easiest ways to learn what it is that you need is by learning what you don't need and what you don't want. If a foundation is too dark, obviously you don't want that. If a foundation is too light or too green, obviously you don't want any of those. And these little things help you eventually come to an option that works for you.
Oh, that's nice.
A woman is on the go, she's on the game, and she's on the go. Oh, more bacterium. What's this? Haven't used my beauty blender in a few weeks. This is mold. Well, oh, that is vulgar, isn't it? What is... That is really quite repulsive. Looks like a dinosaur egg. I don't know what this song is. Get that bread? I don't think so.
An idiot sandwich.
Sponges, beauty sponges, all of this stuff. You need to wash them. I know. Isn't it awful that we have to wash our tools? You need to. And when it comes to something like sponges, you need to just throw them away. You need to be like, do you know what? I've had this one for too long. Goodbye, girls. That for me, if I'm using it on myself, is when the staining becomes too much to cope with. Even if just looking at it, I'm like, But you can do many different tests. You can sniff. Does it smell a little bit musky? Does it smell a little bit like, should have been washed several times ago? Maybe it's time to throw it out. When you are a makeup artist working on a client, I love to provide a sponge within my cost. When I used to do freelance makeup artistry, I would provide a sponge within my cost. So nobody else is ever going to use that sponge. That is their sponge. They can take it with them. That's their sponge. I don't know though if this is mold. I mean, it doesn't look good, does it? Whatever it is, it doesn't look good. I have a feeling it's just like slightly absorbed moisture from the air and actually just kind of like become a little bit bobular and a little bit odd. Either way, I don't think that this is good. I don't think this is good. And she needs to go. She needs to be laid to rest. We have to say the ritual. What do we say in the ritual?
Praise Satan. She's dead.
Goodbye, fair sponge. Next up in the pageant is you're overlining your lips the wrong way. Are we?
If you're lining your lips like this, please seek immediate help. Stop it right now.
Goodness me, call an ambulance.
So overline your lips without looking like this.
Okay.
When you're overlining your lips, you leave these lines alone. You want to find the tip of your Cupid bow. Draw one line and another. I like more of a rounded Cupid bow, so I connect them in the center.
Straight across.
Then very lightly, you want to connect this line down there. Don't overline. You should have something like this. If you want to overline, you can always make the Cupid bow area a little bit thicker.
Yes.
And for the bottom lip, you only want to overline this center right here.
Yes. Yes, okay.
Focus on overlining the center. Don't overline any of these edges.
Yes.
And you're all done. It's so easy.
Oh, T, absolutely, completely agree. Couldn't have said it better myself, lady. So, when it comes to overlining your lips, you have to kind of ask yourself the question of, like, what's the outcome that you want? Why are you overlining your lips? What sort of effect are you trying to achieve by using this technique? Most of the time, it is that you want to achieve that thick, almost lip filler, kind of like sexy pout look. And exactly what she said here is correct. Concentrate that on the center because that's where you create a pout. Pouts are created in the center of the lip, not at the edges. You do run the risk of starting to look a bit sausage lip filler if you overline the outside of your lips. Now, there is room to move. With any of these techniques, there is always room to move. I haven't actually lined my lips today, but I've used my liquid lipstick in a way that accentuates the roundness of my lips rather than the sharpness. This works so much better with matte products as well. You don't usually get the same sort of effect if you're going for something metallic or vibrantly shiny. Straight over the Cupid's bow creates that like, kind of look, and that's kind of what you want if you're going to go for the overlining effect. You can round out the top of your Cupid's bow a little bit and then pull the line down as a rounded motion if you want to soften that Cupid's bow and create that more... I can't for a split second think of anyone with these lips that I'm thinking of, but it's like a flatter Cupid's bow, more rounded looking lip, which is very sort of like adult sex doll kind of vibes.
Today's word of the day is bukkake. Bukkake.
And then when it comes to the bottom lip, if you overline down here, you end up giving yourself marionette lines. So just keep it rounded. Quite often, you can use other techniques alongside this to make your lips look even bigger, such as adding a little bit of shadow here, and then right above the Cupid's bow, adding a little tiny bit of highlight just to make everything seem even bigger again. But the thing about overlining your lips is, don't do it too much, because if you go over and you're not like a drag queen or doing it for performance or anything like that, it's really obvious in real life. And sometimes I've seen people and I've just been thinking, all I can think of is your top lip. Why does your top lip do this? Why have you applied your top lip this way? They could be talking to me about anything and I'm like, top lip. So yes, be wary, be mindful, start slow, round the top, and continue to grow. There you go. Excellent techniques. Oh my God, nothing about infection. Love it.
Don't do this.
Don't do it, girl.
Adding dark,
Right, eyebrows. Let's do some eyebrows. Okay, adding some thick lines, thick definition. That's a huge arch.
Stonehenge.
I'm not a fan of a huge arch personally.
Do this instead.
Right, okay,
Start
what's
with a
this?
brow pencil and add
Soft lines.
Then add pomade to the end.
Pomade.
Clean up with a tiny bit of concealer. See the difference? That's much better.
Okay, let's pause it there. Yes. Okay, yes. I see where she's going with this and I understand because that's exactly kind of the vibe that I go for. I do think when people say like, don't do this, do this. I do feel like there needs to be maybe an asterisk sometimes because sometimes people don't have the same sort of eyebrow as you to be able to get away with that sort of vibe. So I will say, I don't think this style of eyebrow looks particularly great on anyone outside of the theatre. And the theatre could be stage production, drag, I don't know, makeup enthusiasts, cosplay, any of that. I feel like harsh edges around the eyebrow actually pulls attention to it. And if you want that, that's fine. But I think quite a lot of people just want to reshape the brow or maybe tidy up the brow. I have to do something between these two eyebrow styles. So I don't have any eyebrow hair beyond about here. All of this is fake. So I use a pencil to do that. And I actually start by underlining the whole thing underneath and flattening my eyebrow out a little bit so it has less of an arch but more of an uplift. At the beginning of my brow, I will do little like feather strokes and I think that's very, very flattering because it softens this area here. If you have harsh lines here, it can start to make your nose contour look weird and then make your nose look strange and then sometimes can even make your lips look weird because everything here is so sharp. A way around creating that sharpness, if you want to soften it, is to take your beauty sponge or your foundation brush or your concealer brush, lightly dab over the eyebrow once you've finished it at the center and it will just soften up this area completely. I'm not a fan of putting concealer above the eyebrow, but I do like a little bit underneath the tail just to soften everything and tidy it up to a point. Absolutely love that. So I think, actually, certain people, certain eyebrow types, if you don't have any eyebrow hair, you're going to have to go with something a little bit more bolder. But I do also really like a fine, feathery hair stroke look. But I do also think that if you're going to wear heavy eye makeup, a soft little pussy willow, soft little eyebrow is not necessarily going to give the same effect as something with a little bit more definition and structure. Eyebrows. Who wants them? Nobody. Oh, very MySpace 2008.
This house is clean.
Do your under eyes crease all the time?
Do your under eyes crease?
From this to this. Buttery
this
smooth
to this.
And lasts all day.
Buttery?
Concealer, if you do less, it is easier to work with, but I like to do mine all under my eye.
Oh,
just
that's
to
a
make
lot
sure
of
it's really
concealer.
even. Now, let your concealer set for like 30 seconds.
Okay.
And then blend it out. Yeah.
It's really crucial. You're gonna want one of these powder puffs and take your powder. This is Laura Mercier translucent setting powder and tap into the powder with your sponge. Notice how on your sponge
that's a lot of powder.
Even take the back of your hand.
Oh, okay.
And you're gonna smooth it out more like that.
All right, so you're working it into the brush, into the sponge.
Stretch your face so your under eye is flat. Just before you set, make sure you blend out any creases that came up. When you set, really press into the crease.
And there you have it. You're gonna have under eyes that last you all day.
Okay. Yes and no. Yes and no.
Yes, and also no.
I think still that that's a bit too much powder. My personal opinion, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
She's educated.
The only thing that's conservative about me is the amount of powder I use under my eyes.
You need to stop the boats.
For me, I always try and err on the side of caution. Using too much powder can easily dry out the skin, make it look a bit weird. You end up introducing like unwanted texture and all sorts. There is a balance between like trying to get something to last all day by setting it completely to cement, and also trying to make it livable and wearable and flexible because it's in an area that needs to move. What I do love that she said here is that after applying your concealer, let it sit for 30 seconds. That is probably the most crucial point to this. When I was working on counter and I had to like sell or demonstrate a concealer, the amount of people that would just put that concealer on, immediately wipe it away and be like,
it's not worked.
I'm like, yes, because we need to wait for it to actually do something. So when you load up an area with concealer, let it sit. Let it sit for 30 seconds and then gently blend it out. What you've done then is you've allowed the product to kind of get a bit dry in the sense, and you've allowed that coverage to develop, and then you're only blending away the top layers just to make it really seamless with the rest of your face. Setting that concealer is so important if you want something to look nice all day. I don't think you need to use one of those special like triangle shaped brushes and really like press it into the under eye. I think a light coating underneath the eye with an eyeshadow brush of your powder, your favorite powder, is the tea. I honestly feel like you're gonna have much better results with that.
Oh, I could never take that long to do my makeup. I just do my makeup in 10 minutes and I go. I know, Karen. I know.
Oh.
I can tell.
Oh, that's nice. I will say, there is a lot of like makeup bullying. There is a sort of like unspoken weirdness when it comes to be like, don't wear too much or people will judge you, but also you should be amazingly good at it as soon as you start, otherwise people will judge you. And it's one of these things, when I used to work in counters, the amount of people that would be like, I have this beautiful palette that I bought from you guys and I just don't know how to use it. That is what makeup artists are there for. They're not just there for your like big special wedding day. They're not just there for like, oh my God, I'm going to prom, I need makeup. They're also there for like advice. If you want to just like hire a makeup artist and be like, do you know what? I just want to learn a little bit more about what works for my skin, what works for my face, eye shapes that I really like. You can hire a makeup artist to do that as well. That part of the industry has kind of changed a lot with the advent of social media because now people are a lot more confident with themselves. But there's still a big portion of society that just wants to get a bit better at doing makeup and do not feel like pressured or weird for wanting to ask for help when it comes to something like this. So this situation I've had happen to me multiple times. It's someone that like really drives home that they've never worn anything in their life. They never ever would wear makeup. Makeup's disgusting, never would. Judging other people for wearing makeup. And I don't get where that judgment comes from because like, I don't care at all if someone doesn't wear makeup. So why would you care that I am wearing makeup? Do you know what I mean? There's this odd dichotomy. Is that the word? I think that might be the word. Odd dichotomy that sometimes happens when it comes to enjoying cosmetics. The same sort of thing occasionally will happen if I get like a procedure done and someone will be like,
well, I've never had to get Botox in my life. I'm gonna grow old gracefully.
It's like, okay, Sandra, that's wonderful for you. I am gonna look like this until I'm 80. Thank you, bye. So, my lovelies, what an addition that was. We saw a lot more infection and bacteria than I assumed we were going to see. I didn't wake up today and be like, do you know what? Petri dishes full of eyeshadow applicator gloop. But I'm very glad that it meant that we could have a lovely discussion about sanitization and why it is important to sanitize. I do also want to add on that 70% alcohol, I think most of the world call it isopropyl alcohol. It's the same sort of alcohol that you'll find in, or the same levels of alcohol that you'll find in hand sanitizers. 70% is the most effective at sanitizing products, hands, killing bacteria. The reason why this is because higher than that, bacteria can actually prevent themselves from taking it up. The reason why bacteria take in this isopropyl alcohol into the cell and then it disrupts them is because of the water content. They go to pull the water across and it comes with alcohol and they're just like, bleh.
I'm melting! I'm melting!
And that's what we want. We don't want any bacteria here, no. Hello, little biscuit. How are you doing?
I'm really spooky today, girls.
Oh, thank you for the little kisses, Mr. Biscuit. You like being wrapped up like this, don't you? You love it, girls. Welcome back to the Chanel, my lovelies. I hope you're having a sufficiently festive October so far. I caught the plague about 3 weeks ago, and I feel like I'm still getting over it right now, which is interesting because lots of the YouTubers I watch are just getting over something right now. A conspiracy host? Oh, let's not. Let's not go there, no.
A witch.
Welcome back to another episode of Unhinged TikTok beauty fails, hacks, and mysteries, girls. I think this is what, episode 9 now? Episode 9, is that right? It's probably not, is it?
No.
We've seen some things throughout this series so far, my lovelies, but you already know the tea. You know what we're gonna do. You know what to expect. My profile over on TikTok is XXLuxeria. If you happen to see any unscrupulously disastrous or interesting makeup hacks, please send them to me over there or tag me in them. And you never know, it might end up in the next video, my loves.
Oh, that's nice.
So one of the top comments on the last episode of Unhinged Makeup TikTok Fails Beauty blah 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 is by Hugh Miller 98, and they say Luxeria and the Welsh twins are becoming the Anne Reardon of makeup and skincare, and I'm 100% here for it, debunking mis and disinformation and also explaining how and why. Do you have an important message? Thank you, my love. Thank you. Yes, I also actually very much enjoy the Welsh twins content. Interestingly enough, I discovered Robert Welsh many, many years ago, and I remember thinking, I know you from somewhere. Turns out he used to work at Mac Pro in Carnaby Street, and I used to be a frequent flyer there back in the day. Interesting that I've also ended up working for Mac at some point in my life. So, thank you, my lovelies. It does seem to come with the territory. So, my lovelies, if you don't know me, my name is Luxeria. I have been a makeup artist for 16 years. Gosh, it's nearly 17 at this point. Ugh.
She's an old lady. I mean, look at her. She's
dead.
And I also have a biochemistry degree because I have a fundamental interest in the way the world works. Well, maybe more like cells. Yes, Mr. Biscuit. With a particular penchant for formulation. So, my lovelies, let's see what we're going to watch today. What are we going to watch today, Mr. Biscuit? We just don't know, do we? Yeah. So, my lovelies, make sure you're tucked in all nice and warm on this chilly winter's evening. It's October. Get yourself a beverage. Today, I am on the Poop Soilier Max from a bottle. My goodness. Oh, this feels wrong, doesn't it? What's all this about?
Oh.
Disgusting. Pop your hanger right into your little TikTok hole and let's watch some unhinged beauty hacks, tips and tricks from TikTok, shall we, Biscuit? Yes. Oh my gosh, the first one looks like some sort of lip filler incident. We don't like these, do we?
I've literally gotten bigger by the second.
Do you think this is a filter?
No, sir.
Or
Who are
is she
you?
just catfishing us all?
No.
I don't think it's a filter because she is crying. She's pretty distraught.
Hang on, I don't know who this doctor is, but let me look at this. Jesus. Those are some swollen lips. Oh my goodness me. I'm not a stranger to filler, and let's talk a little bit about filler in a moment, but I do want to hear what that doctor has to say, because this is like, this is a lot. This is a lot.
I don't know how I'm gonna tell my family and my friend.
So if this isn't a filter, I'm thinking this is an allergic reaction to filler.
Yes.
Yes, you could do a lot of filler to make your lips that large, but the fact that it's just so evenly distributed and so puffy, it makes me think it is more of an allergic reaction.
Yes.
So if you're in this situation, the one possibility is to take steroids, oral steroids, that can help, and certainly time will take care of it all.
Right, well, thank you, Dr. Mystery Man. So let's talk about lip filler, shall we, my lovelies? I am no stranger to a little bit of the injectables, shall we say. I've had a little bit of work done here and there, you know, just a little bit of lip gloss and the like.
So you were just lying?
Quite a lot, actually. When we talk about lip fillers, the kind of lip fillers that are mostly known on the market right now, in fact, it kind of goes across all fillers, really, unless you're going for something a little bit more unusual at this point, which is like straight collagen fillers, or I think Sculptra is a slightly different type of filler as well. I haven't done my research on that one. But the kind of fillers that I have had are called hyaluronic acid-based fillers. They kind of look like this. There are multiple different brands. You've got Revelax Deep, which is my personal favorite. You've got Juvederm, you've got Restylane. You've even got new brands coming up from South Korea, which look to be quite promising. So, what is a lip filler? What actually is it? What's in a lip filler? So it's hyaluronic acid formulated in a specific way to create these like meshes of hydration, if you like. Hyaluronic acid absorbs water. It holds onto water. In fact, it's incredibly water absorbent. Is it, what's the word? Humectant? No, that's not it. What is the word I'm looking for here? Post-editing Luxeria. So the correct terminology is retaining. Hyaluronic acid can retain up to 1,000 times its own weight in water. However, this number is disputed. It is disputed. Which is why when things go in and perhaps there's swelling involved, it's going to look a lot worse than it is because your body likes to pump all sorts of nutrients to the area when you're having an allergic reaction. Most most of the time, that's kind of like, if you think about it, like pussy sort of situations. And a lot of the fluids that make up these things are water, which is why when you see someone have a reaction to filler, it seems to go off the scale swollen. Not just like, oh, I'm a little bit upset. My everything's a little bit bothered. Bothered, sis. She's a bothered woman. No, it seems to just go off the scale, swollen, baboon's booty hole situation, which is not the tea, is it?
No.
Once again, this is one of those things that sometimes it just does happen. This isn't necessarily one of those times that I can be like, as a makeup artist, be like, oh, this is what's happening. This is the tea. But as a biochemist, my loves, there's not a lot you can do once you start having an allergic reaction. All you can do is try and take steroids or try and minimize the swelling as much as possible through taking something like arnica or trying to cool down the area. There's not really a lot you can do apart from ride it out. This does also ask the question though, if you've got this product in your skin and you're having an allergic reaction to it, can that cause further problems down the line? For example, once it's in your skin and you've gone past this allergic reaction, if you ever have to have it topped up, or if your immune system ever gets a bit lowered for some reason, maybe you're a bit under the weather with something else, it could potentially re-inflame. If this is a hyaluronic acid-based filler that she's had allergic reaction to, I would probably say go to a practitioner, get it dissolved. Hopefully you're not also allergic to Dissolver, which ironically is one of those things they test you for. In my, aesthetic experiences, I don't think I've been allergy tested for hyaluronic acid, because it's one of those things that we actually produce in our bodies ourselves. It could be a lidocaine allergy, but I'm not familiar with every single formulation of every single filler. So make sure you choose your practitioner correctly. And when you go to a registered professional, quite often they'll ask you all the relevant questions about your medical history and the such like. Ha! Dr. Luxeria, girls! Oh, is this the original video? Oh my gosh, this is the original video. Okay, hang on, we have to watch this.
So I went to go get my lips done yesterday, and something bad happened.
Right.
Bitch, I'm so nervous right now. It's literally gotten bigger.
Yeah, that's not the tea.
This really sucks because I want to look done so bad. And of course that because I want to look done so bad. And of course that happened. It's just,
Oh, perhaps she's never had it done before. Oh, it's so shocking, isn't it?
Hi guys, my name is Jessica and I'm auditioning for Euphoria Season 3. I'm taking Chloe Cherry's place.
Oh, that poor girl. They are so intense, aren't they? Well, I'm hoping that her swelling went down eventually. Right, what's this one? What's this one, my loves? Oh, here we go. Oh, hang on a second. Is this another okay. Too Faced lip injection extreme lip gloss fail. Okay, right. So this is very lips. Oh my goodness. 2 lips, my loves. What's the tea?
Okay, so I went and bought the Too Faced.
I wouldn't buy anything from Too Faced, no.
I went and bought the Too Faced
She's got lovely eyes.
Lip Injection Extreme Lip Gloss, because everybody hypes on about it, saying it gives you that, that lip injection effect without the obviously injection part. I can't afford lip injections, and I was never going to just jump into it and just expect that it would suit me, because sometimes it doesn't suit people. And I was like, this is a cheap alternative. I've seen so many videos, I did heaps of research.
I'm just going to interject here and say that a plumping lip gloss is not an alternative for filler. Fillers are done in a very specific way depending on the type of procedure you have, whether that's a Russian technique where you have a really sharp line, or whether you have something like a dual technique, which is where they do a traditional filling mixed with a Russian style, so you have that little bit of sharpness but still some volume. Lip filler is also used to change the shape of your lips, or to make things more symmetric, or balance out different types of lip volume between the upper and the lower. So I wouldn't say that a lip gloss is really an adequate way of being like, oh, it's just like filler, everyone gets filler. Right, let's listen.
Even some friends, old friends of mine, used to use it, and it was such a pretty gloss.
Is it?
And it gave them such a nice plump look.
Does it?
So I bought it for myself. I've only just opened it. So this is what it is.
Right.
I've only just opened it.
This is the extreme one, isn't it?
I was going to use it next weekend for the races, and I was
races?
On my way to the shops, and I thought I would just give it a go. My son was playing with the wrapper, and he actually opened it for me, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to use it. And within 2 minutes, my mouth started flaring up a little bit, which was normal, and then it started traveling all around my lips and up to my nose. I'm in lots of pain. It's really itchy, it's burning, and this is what I look like. Ready?
Oh my
This
goodness.
is what I look like. I literally put the tiniest amount on my lips, and I put like 1, 2, and then I put a little bit there. I went like this.
Oh.
And that was it. And I just let it sit. I let it sit for 2 minutes, and then I literally wiped it off with a makeup wipe.
Oh
and
no,
I just
she's
wiped
wiped
my
it
lips
round.
really carefully, and this is the result. I don't know if anybody else has had this reaction. I have no idea what is going on right now, but I am in lots of pain.
So let's talk a little bit about why these plumping lip glosses work. So quite often they contain a chemical that will genuinely disrupt the skin and kind of make it hurt. That's how they plump. That's how your body goes, oh my God, let's pump loads of nutrients to the area, lots of fluid to make it all big and plump and lovely. You're basically inducing a sort of allergic reaction, except you wouldn't call it an allergy in this instance. I can't remember what the exact word is that you would use. The correct terminology would be that mild irritants in the ingredients cause blood vessels to expand and therefore force blood to rush to the surface of the skin, inducing a temporary but swollen pussy lip effect. But it's putting basically a known chemical irritant, an irritant on the skin to produce an outcome that you want. So it doesn't surprise me that as it's traveled around the lips, it's kind of also bothered the skin around her lips. That doesn't surprise me. I don't know if people actually know that these lip glosses that cause extreme swelling or cause swelling is purposefully giving yourself an allergic reaction to get that effect. That's why they hurt, that's why they sting, that's why they plump, because if you were to put just like a nice gloss on your arm, like nothing happens, does it really? I mean, unless you're allergic to like plain old gloss.
Are you that sort?
But as soon as you put something like chili oil with lip gloss on your arm, you're gonna get red, you're gonna get bumpy, you're gonna get that plumping look. You might grow an entire pair of new lips on your arm, girls.
Oh dear God.
Nobody wants that.
That was not erotic to everybody.
So I do find it interesting that there are so many of these on the market. I personally, after having lip fillers done, like, I don't want to experience pain on my lips. Like, I had some really spicy food a little while ago, and I just remember it, like, being on my lips, and I was like,
this is a deeply unpleasant experience.
So I can't imagine wanting to put something purposefully on your lips that's going to make them really swollen, but only last a little while as well. It doesn't give you the same effect as like an actual lip filler would. It can't change the shape. It can't, you know, give you a gorgeous vermilion border volume. It's not the same, and I don't think it should be advertised as such either. The kind of advertising around lip gloss plumping like gels and lip glosses reminds me a lot of back in the mid-2000s. There was a huge problem we had in the UK. In fact, the law actually changed around it.
Get the London look.
Makeup adverts used to use mascara and be like, pooh, with false eyelashes, as if the mascara was going to give you the same effect as false eyelashes. And it's just not. So now on every sort of mascara advert that uses false eyelashes, they have to say like filmed with lash enhancement. The advertising around like these plumping lip glosses feels the same. Like, there is no way a gloss applied to the skin can give you the same effect as an injection of hyaluronic acid. It just can't.
And that's the Darjeeling.
But because these lip glosses are such an irritant, like, the idea that you just try them straight on your lips, to me it goes like, no, anytime I've had a client that's like, plumping lip gloss, I don't want fillers, I'm like, let's not do that. Let's just not do that, please. We can use some techniques to make your lips look fuller. Interestingly enough, what actually is it in the Too Faced Extreme Plumping Gloss that causes... What is it? What is the chemical? Where is she? That's the bottle, isn't it? Oh, capsicum. Okay, so it literally is like spice. It's what I mentioned earlier. It's literally chili spices. So if you have a problem with chilies, do not try plumping lip glosses. Capsicum resin. Ooh, what's fruitescens? It's Tabasco! It's Tabasco pepper! Interesting.
And that's the end of that chapter.
Oh my goodness, okay, we're having lots of reactions today, my lovelies. This is definitely a beauty fails video. Right, okay, I see. I haven't even clicked play yet, and I already see this lady has like... Well, should we listen?
I seriously don't think I can emphasize enough. Don't, like, how stupid that was.
And
Oh,
why
on both
is this getting
sides.
so much worse when I only did that small area?
What happened? What is it? What's the tea? What is it? Who are you? For people looking for context, she put the Too Faced Lip Injection Plumping Gloss on her cheeks. Okay, so why? Why is this product on the market? I mean, sure, you could be like, it's gonna be really spicy, so make sure you're careful, girl. Why is it on the market? Why is it on the market? One of these things that I always say in my videos is that, like, makeup is a multi-use product. Quite often it is. I mean, I'm no stranger to putting like a gloss on the top of my cheekbone or a gloss on the top of my client's cheekbone if they want that really gentle, soft highlight. In fact, MAC used to do an amazing product that was just straight up called gloss. And it wasn't like their lip gloss, it wasn't sticky, it was just like pure soft gloss and it was lovely. I don't think they do it anymore, which is so annoying. That would be perfect for something like this. You just want a little bit of light reflection, a little bit of pussy gloss.
Deranged.
And I'm sure there are going to be people in the comments here that are like,
I love my pussy pumping Gloss 3000 Extreme Cuppa Scum experience. My lips are bleeding.
Thank you, Luxeria. It's not for me, and I wouldn't have it in my kit, personally. But this does go back to the thing that I say, makeup is multi-use, but when it's something so specific, like a lip plumper, do not put this anywhere else. And please, do not put it on your cheeks or your eyes. Goodness forbidden. Not the eyes. Oh, so we have another one here. Okay, all right, okay. This is a very specific makeup look I can already see, and I feel like, I might be wrong, I haven't heard it yet, but I feel like this girl's gonna be British, because this is a very typical British makeup look. Shall we listen?
So I was just having a long, hard think about my appearance and the way that I've been, like, walking around with so much confidence when I genuinely look like a fat, sweaty, jacket potato. And I just thought, like, I just want to see if I can, like, paint my face and make myself look like me again. Excuse me. Fucking filthy feline jumping on me. Right, where was I? But even with makeup on, I literally look like that fish off Shark's Tale. I'm not even joking you. I look like that fish off Shark's Tail. And I'm not live, laugh, loving. It's my lips. But I can't get them dissolved because, like, I ain't walking around with fucking paper cuts on my fucking face. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I don't know what to do anymore. I'm just going to put Love Island on and I'm just going to, like, eat more food.
Okay, T. I mean, if she loves that, everyone's entitled to look the way they want. I'm a bit confused about the feline hate suddenly throughout that. Okay, so this is a very typical British makeup look. It's not my favourite makeup look, it's not my favourite makeup style, but I think, you know, it does definitely have a place within the makeup consumer world, because these girls are basically doing drag every single day, and they are keeping the British makeup industry alive and well. What she did say here, though, is that she feels like she looks like that fish from Shark Tale, and that says to me that she wants to try something slightly different, try out a new look to make her feel like herself, but look less... What's a word that I can use here that's, like, quite sensitive and soft? Not, less extreme, should we say? A little bit more... snatchural, like natural but pushed up to the edge of what's like, oh, I could have it myself. So I will say the British type of makeup looks that this is too much for me. I used to work at MAC Cosmetics and quite often we would be asked to do things like this. I think what might be beneficial in this situation to create a more sort of like subtle yet effective look is to match the foundation to the neck. I know that people that quite often go for this type of makeup look are usually matching like a fake tan color or an artificial skin tone in order to appear more tanned. You can do that, but I think actually bronzing around the outside of the face is a much more natural, harmonious way to create a tanned-like skin without it being too mismatched from the rest of the body. I personally am not a fan of like huge, thick eyebrows. I think huge, thick eyebrows can sometimes work well. I feel like most makeup consumers and most makeup clients that I've had in my chair look best with like subtly enhanced but more defined brows. So quite often to me that means like not doing like full painted in brows. I know I have a full painted in brow, but I do it in a way that's a little bit thinner than what I would naturally have in order to make it look more, I want to say elevated, is that a word? A little bit elevated. I feel like the contouring here is a little bit heavy. I feel like if you want to create a more natural harmonious look, the contouring needs to be done from within, if that makes sense. So my favorite thing to do is underpainting. And I mean like very sensitively placed underpainting. Quite a lot of makeup tutorials that you'll watch online don't translate onto everybody's face. And the reason why I say that is because quite often they'll say, you put your bronzer here, you do this here, you do this here. It's like, no, that it should be tailored for every single face. I don't need to have bronzer all the way across here. I like just a little bit under my cheekbones to warm up my already cold contour, just to give a little bit of colour and life to the face. That is going to be way more effective than just having a big stripe of contour. I like to apply contour into wet foundation, and I also like to apply a little bit of highlighter into wet foundation as well, because as you're blending that out and as you then go over to powder and then you apply a setting spray to give a more, maybe slightly fresher, dewier finish, it all mixes in with each other and creates a much more soft look, less harsh. I do think she does have particularly full lips. I have 3 ml of filler in total in my lips right now, and I feel like she has a little bit more than that. I must admit though, I love that little uplifted part there with filler. I really want this so badly. I would say perhaps a less darker lip, something with a little bit more gloss right in the center, maybe just here as well. Maybe even keeping it a bit more nude and less contoured would create a much more subdued look. And I feel like that would be a lot more harmonious to the look that she's trying to achieve. Her features, she's got wonderful features to start with. Look at the size of her eyes, massive eyes, really good eyebrows. She's got a small forehead, lovely cheekbones, small features down here, but very big lips. Now, if we look down the center of her face, she has very strong brows, big eyes, and big lips. These are really marvelous features to work with. I feel like just pulling focus to one of them is going to create a lot more of that natural look that I feel like she's going for. I don't know her personally, so I can't say that, but if she came to sit in my makeup chair, that's what I would focus on. But then again, I know British makeup culture is about the glam. You want to transform the way you look. Totally get it.
Pick up your Amazon Prime stick, honey, and click play.
All right, what do we have here? Okay, we've got another, like, procedure hack. This is very biochemistry heavy today, isn't it, my lovelies? Okay, what do we have here? Botox prevention hack. Right.
Ladies, I'm about to save you so much money on Botox and maybe help you prevent not even ever needing it. At least on your forehead.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I'm being sold something.
And a makeup artist had me put on my own mascara.
Yes.
And I went at it like this. I went...
Oh, no.
Like that. She goes, no. She goes, stop. Don't do that.
Yes.
What? Do what? Wrinkle your forehead when you put mascara on. Because when you do that, it's causing those wrinkles and you're holding that position for however long it takes you to do your mascara multiple times a week, if not every day. And that is just going to give you wrinkles prematurely.
Yes.
And I was like, what? And just doing my makeup, I just thought I'd share it with you guys because I'm 29 next month and I've never ever had Botox. I get facials and eat healthy.
Are you sure?
That's my skin regimen. And so
Are you sure?
Look.
I'm not gonna say she's straight up lying, but she's got the Botox skin texture. And when I say that, I mean like she's got the Botox glow. Anyone here who's had Botox can recognize the Botox glow. I'm completely filled with Botox, so I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment.
My skin regimen. And so I just tilt my head up, look up.
Yeah, this is excellent.
And just put mascara on that way and I avoid that expression.
Yes,
also,
perfect.
It kind of subconsciously just taught me when I'm talking to people, if I look surprised, I just use my eyes and I don't wrinkle my forehead. I don't even want to do it right now because I just don't like forcing my eyebrows up so high. Also, if you get Botox, go for it. Who cares? You do whatever makes you happy. But hopefully this helps people save some money in the future. And if you are very expressionate, just be cautious.
She's had Botox, the little fibber. Little fibs. Oh, I detect little fibbles. I could be completely wrong, but let's talk about Botox, shall we? So I have had Botox here, 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 and here. And this was recent, actually. I had it done probably about a month ago now. I can still move my eyebrows. I can still express. It's my favorite thing to get just a little bit of Botox, enough to help with anti-aging and actually also help with headaches, interestingly enough. Raise my eyebrows ever so slightly, but also prevent crinkling around the eyes. So when she smiled, you naturally create crinkles around the eyes. I've had Botox and I get crinkles around my eyes still, but I only have little ones because I get little Botox. I I can't say that only ever doing mascara in this way will never ever give you forehead wrinkles. I am gonna say prevention is better than a cure. If you are mindful about how much you want to express your face, the chances are then you're going to have less wrinkles because of that. However, sometimes you're just gonna wrinkle up. I must admit, not using a muscle will allow it to atrophy over time, which means you are less likely to engage that muscle in the future. If you apply that science to the muscle around here, then it's gonna happen as well. I don't have the most wrinkly forehead, but I can definitely tell a difference when I've had Botox. I just don't have those deep, like, emotional lines. So, what is Botox, my lovelies? Well, I recently had my Botox done by Faces by Roberto over on Instagram. A glorious, glorious practitioner here in London, my absolute favourite girls. He also did my lips a little while ago, and he did them so beautifully. It is a very small amount of toxin, Botox, botulinum toxin. It is technically a neurotoxin. Is it a neurotoxin? I'm going to use the word neurotoxin here. That might be incorrect. It is a nerve agent that paralyzes muscles. When used in small quantities, it can actually reduce the movement of those muscles. So nerves in the body kind of have these nerve ending areas where they have a space between them, and neurochemicals transmit the nerve impulse between the ends of two nerves. Botox disrupts this and prevents those two nerves from communicating with each other, which is why you end up with a paralysis effect. Too much Botox and you end up frozen. Not enough Botox and it doesn't really have an effect, which is why sometimes with a practitioner it can take like 2 or 3 times to get the amount of Botox you need right. And the way that your metabolism works also determines how long the Botox will last for you. Some people get 3 months, some people get a year. I've got a pretty rubbish metabolism, which means that fillers and Botox last quite a long time on me, which is great, but it also means that anything I eat immediately plumps me up, girls. Botox is actually a really, really easy procedure. I had lots of people asking me recently about my Botox experience. I actually posted a reel over on Instagram about it because I think everyone should try it out if you're not allergic to it. Like, 100% just go for it, girls. Like, if you're really worried about the way that your skin looks and any sort of aging, life is the longest thing that you are ever going to personally experience here on this planet. And if you feel like you benefit from just having a little bit of a touch-up to make yourself feel better, do it. Don't feel guilty. Don't worry about what other people are going to think. Just use your energy and focus on yourself, my lovelies. If I'd have worried what everyone else would have thought, I would never have been on this personal journey of discovery for me. I will say, though, that Botox is anti-aging, not de-aging. If you have really deep lines, they might need a little bit of extra work or a little bit of filler, or alternatively, they might take a lot longer for Botox to actually reduce those. Because over like the course of a few years of having them, you'll find that those wrinkles completely disappear because the skin has actually healed, which is great. Great. But will I say that just applying mascara in a very mindful way like this is going to completely stop you from ever having forehead wrinkles? X to doubt, girls. X to doubt. Oh, we got an actual makeup video. Oh, back to makeup, girls. Right, what's this?
This past weekend, me and my friends were turning heads in the
Oh,
bathroom
not
with
Shazza
this little
Tilbs.
product. So for me, I
Good old
used it
Shazza.
to literally make my smile lines disappear.
I'm sorry.
To right here, to gone. And if you know me and you've seen me in person, my smile lines are so deep. So this is crazy.
The nasolabial fold.
My friend who is borrowing this has kind of some deep lines in her forehead, and she put this on the lines of her forehead.
Is this just a powder?
Gone. And people in the bathroom were like, I just saw that. What product is that? This is the Charlotte Tilbury Press Powder. It's in the
Mini
shade
airbrush flawless finish.
Medium. The final finish of my skin
Oh,
is
the
just
thing with social media is,
amazing.
look at her skin, glowing, gorgeous. But when she zooms in, there is a little bit of texture because do you know what happens? I don't know what it is. Something about TikTok uploads or Instagram Reels uploads, it like blurs the skin in a way. Even if you take off the blurring filters, it still happens, my lovelies. I'm no stranger to a little bit of a filter over on Instagram because I find these pissing devices, I use an iPhone, the front-facing camera on these iPhones, disgusting. It creates pores where there is no pores to begin with, so I feel like I always need to have a little bit of retouching. However, here, I have no retouching, and I feel like I look fine. For some reason, the front-facing camera of this device gives me dysphoria, girls.
Nobody wanted to marry you.
But that's a conversation for another day. Will a powder remove your fine lines, wrinkles, or anything like that? Yes and no.
Yes, and also no.
It's a bit more complicated than that. A powder cannot cannot penetrate the skin, create a plumping effect, and fill out those areas. If it did, that would be an amazing invention that would cost a lot more than just a mini available in your local, like, drugstore. I do actually believe there is a peptide that can penetrate the skin and force your body to create adipose tissue in those areas. I can't remember what it's called. If I can, I'll put it on the screen right here. It is very grey market though. The research is just being done, like it's not available on the markets. If you can get hold of it, you're being naughty. Not endorsed by me, no, never do anything naughty, children, never.
You're having a fever dream.
So a powder is technically a kind of like softening, velvet kind of feeling substance that has the power to refract light in very specific ways. And within that light refraction is the disguising of wrinkles. It's the same reason why when we use like a highlighter here, it's creating the illusion of your cheekbone being like more forward and light catching. It's not actually moving your skin forward and catching the light, because that would be, well, that would break the laws of physics.
Well, I suppose I could use a new hobby.
A solar flare upon the face? Absolutely not in this economy. Have you not heard? There's a cost of living crisis. However, in saying this, I do feel like there is technology differences between powders. So I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury Mini Flawless Finish is probably a silicone talc hybrid powder. Now, silicone powders look amazing in real life. They really do give that flattening, mattifying, wrinkle disguising, like youthful appearance. However, as soon as you're in front of flash photography, you'll see them. We've seen many celebrities throughout this this series already have this issue, and there's the even really famous one with Janice Chalet's. Let me delve into the ingredients of Charlotte Tilbury what's it called? Airbrush powdered pussy wig. Oh, it's now refillable. That's nice. That's actually a very good thing. Right, what's the ingredients? So the first line of ingredients are talc, mica, polymethyl methacrylate, dimethicone, and silica. These are all natural minerals. You've got 2 types of silicone in there, which is good for light refraction. You've got talc, which will set the skin and everything in place. Talc molecules are so fascinating. They're kind of like, so silica is like ball-shaped, but talc is like a squished shape like this, and it's really rare to actually have that in like the natural world, which is why talc is in like all powders, unless you get talc-free, of course. I'm not familiar with what polymethyl methacrylate is, but dimethicone and silica are both silicones, which is probably why this powder looks amazing. However, I am gonna say £38 for a powder is so pricey. That's so pricey. Also, I'm not a huge fan of the brand of Charlotte Tilbury. There's something about it that just puts me off. There's also something off about Charlotte herself as well. I've made videos on her products before. She uses something called homosalate in her magic cream, which has been linked to, well, speculation linked to skin cancer, so I'm not interested. If you want to read more about homosalate, there is a great, article on PubMed that is titled, "Homosalate boosts the release of tumor-derived extracellular vesicles with protection against anchorage." Well worth the read, in my opinion.
Oh, scandalous.
Right, we've got another makeup tutorial. Oh, but I already see, do you see? I already see the captions are saying, I just got my Botox touched up. Okay, well, if you just got it touched up, you shouldn't be wearing makeup for 24 hours. But let's see.
Botox touched up, and I have a family barbecue I need to go to. And when
barbecue?
You Botox, I always wipe off your makeup. So
yes.
we are just gonna clear my base and get ready in the car. I forgot my moisturizer, which I need underneath my makeup for it to look good, but it's whatever. This is the RMS sunscreen. It looks so freaking good. People always ask how much Botox I get, when I get it, how often I go. So typically I go like every 4-ish months.
Yes,
but
okay.
I've been going a little bit more conservative just so I don't get like heavy and have a heavy brow. And so this last time, I feel like it wore off like pretty quick, so she just added like a couple units. I'm literally obsessed that my injector goes light because I feel like Botox always looks so freaking good and I never look like too crazy.
I'm just gonna say she should not be wearing makeup immediately after having a procedure like Botox done, because she's, at this point, like, you have open wounds from the injection sites and you are just pushing in used cosmetics and nasties into the skin. So that's like not really recommended. But I will also say, if she's going to a practitioner that's giving her a heavy brow, that's too much Botox. Botox shouldn't move everything down, and if it does, your practitioner needs to inject elsewhere to create that lift the other way. And that's how you correct like asymmetry or Botox migration. But Okay, right, she's going to the barbecue, everybody, listen, barbecue.
And when I look heavy, it's not a good look for me. And with the e.l.f. Halo Glow in the color medium
Works great
tan,
for men, though.
Like, is the most beautiful contour. I'm kind of sad because I feel like my makeup was really makeup-ing this morning, and it just doesn't ever look as good the second time around.
Don't wear makeup
is another
to
product I've
procedures.
been loving lately. It is so creamy, and it just blends out, like, to perfection. I think I should start getting ready in my car more often because I feel like the ultimate test for makeup is how it looks in natural light. And getting ready in natural light, you just have to apply it so much better. That with the Givenchy powder, and now I'm just gonna bronze.
She's a bougie woman.
Bronzer. This one just, it makes your skin.
Please stop putting makeup in your injection sites.
And I forgot to do my cream bronzer before I set everything, or cream blush before I set everything.
Cream blush, yes.
So
creme
I'm
brulee.
gonna be doing that now.
Apply the creme brulee directly to the Botox
baked
nerve.
Blush. Just pull everything together. Okay, I'm really sad because I thought I packed my settings right, but I didn't, so sucks to suck for me. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna do is use this Charlotte Tilbury
look,
powder,
see? The Tilbury powder.
Just eliminate any pores I have right here.
The Tilbury powder.
Magic. It's gone. Hey, bye guys!
Okay, well, that was nice. So a lovely little makeup. I haven't watched a makeup tutorial in ages. Oh, very 2008. Love that. I will say, though, I think every Botox practitioner, every esthetician, I know there's some of you in the comments here, you always say, do not wear makeup the same day that you have something done. Like, that's just common knowledge. Like, to me, it's one of those things, after I get Botox, quite often I'll have a headache or something. Because it is a procedure, I quite often get like not a reaction, that's a bit much, but like my inflammatory response happens in my body. I get a bit like, oh, I kind of want to rest for a few days, you know, just sort of chill out, do a lighter workload, like not have to do anything. The last thing you want to do is have a massive event that you have to go for and you get everything done on the day or the day before, and then you're like, oh my God, I feel so Botoxed out of my eyeballs and it's just too much. So I would say find a good practitioner, start modestly, work out what's a good Botox range for you, what a decent Botox product is as well, because not everything is Botox and not everything needs to be Botox, in my opinion. There are other brands that do just as well. I just think, like, clear your diary. If you're gonna have something done, clear your diary. Ooh. But she looked gorgeous at the end there, didn't she? Stunning. Should we have another look? Lovely skin. Absolutely stunning. I love that little highlight glow that she used, the Givenchy powder. I'll have to look that up later. Well, my lovelies, we've seen it all today, haven't we? We've seen bursting plump lips that you couldn't even buy. No, but I am very sad that she had a problematic, horrible lip reaction to those injectables. That's such a sad, like, danger that sometimes just happens. And you know what's really weird as well? The human body is fascinating because sometimes it just decides, one day it's like, do you know what? This thing that you've been using forever that's been wonderful and fine, today's not the day. I hate it. Die. Sometimes the human body is just like that. The only real thing that you can do is make sure that you choose a very good practitioner who knows what they're doing, who's got a huge bank of work either online or you can request it when you go to their clinic, but also that you trust and doesn't give you any icky vibes or anything like that. I don't think with lip fillers you can do like the equivalent of a patch test. I know with hyaluronidase, when I had to have my lip fillers dissolved because my previous practitioner botched my lip a little bit and left a ball of filler there, I had to have hyaluronidase injected into my arm, and we had like a little like circle around it, and she was like, if you've had a reaction in 48 hours, we probably won't be able to do it. But it was fine, so I could have it, luckily. That's what happens with hyaluronidase, which is what lip filler dissolver is. It's an enzyme that gently nibbles away the hyaluronic acid. Ooh. Essentially, my lovelies, it's try and be a smart shopper when it comes to your procedures. And please, for the love of God, avoid plumping lip gloss.